Kenneth Walker will start week 1. Kenny Walker is back, baby. And he's not even on the injury report anymore. Cooper Kupp, sounds like there's a good chance he could go on IR, which would put him out all the way through week 4. And then he could potentially return in week 5. That coming off strong comments by McVay, which we'll go over in a second. Christian Watson is out week number 1. Panic Peters are everywhere. Buy low opportunities are potentially in play. And what do you do, though, if you have Christian Watson? Who do you start at least for week 1? The Fantasy Football Show, the Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Kenny Walker will start week number 1, and everybody can get excited about that because we've had Panic Peters everywhere in terms of this situation. Kenny Walker is set to start week 1. Let me see if I can find that graphic. Here we go. Seahawks running back Walker groin is not even listed on the final injury report and will play week 1. We had a lot of Panic Peters coming off that Jahmyr Gibbs outing last night that said, oh, now what with Walker? He's injured. Now what do I do? Walker's out, Smitty. Walker's out. People coming in droves saying he's out. He's not. He was taking a day off. I told everyone to relax. We didn't have any information. To assume the worst was crazy. To not assume something could be going on is also, reckless. But at the same time, he sat out practice. They're trying to keep him healthy. They don't want the groin issue to come back. Make sure you're cuffing Charbonnet to Kenneth Walker. But Walker is good to go, not even on the injury report. And it wouldn't shock me if this guy went out and had such a big monster day that people everywhere were like, whoa, maybe we shouldn't have dropped him down to round 4 or 5 when he was a top 15 overall player before Zach Charbonnet was drafted on the roster. So we'll break down more of these news pieces in a second. I just wanted to first let everybody know that we're going live on Sunday for 24 straight hours, potentially. It's a Keep Smitty live stream. And I would love to have you all join me during the 24-hour live stream here on the channel, starting about an hour before kickoff. We'll do a start bench show, answer start bench questions right up into kickoff, little watch party, and then we'll move on from there. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. Appreciate everybody that's here. And we're going to start off with the Christian Watson news, and then we'll go to Cooper Kupp. Christian Watson will not play week 1. It sucks. It is what it is. It sucks, but there are Panic Peters everywhere. Panic Peters everywhere that are going to try and potentially sell out of this situation. The crazy part is it's not like he failed or faltered. He has an injury. It sucks. It's a hamstring injury. We could say things like, Smitty, we're so down on Cooper Kupp. Told you not to draft Cooper. You told me not to draft Cooper Kupp. Now all of a sudden you're okay with Christian Watson's hamstring injury. It's a big difference when a player doesn't have a setback, a re-injury. If he re-injures this, if he comes back too quick, and we don't even know how bad the hamstring is. They're probably being very careful with it. They don't want to lose him for a big part of the year. They've seen what happened to Cooper Kupp, so they're probably like, look, let's not get Cooper Kupp here. And let's go ahead and have you sit out a game just to make sure you're good to go for the remainder of the season. But it's important to note he's a young man. Cooper Kupp's 30-plus years old. Cooper Kupp's coming off an ankle injury that he literally couldn't get healthy and right up until right before the season. And even then, it's debatable whether he was even near 100% because he was out there compensating, and that's how he injured the hamstring. And at 30 years old, the likelihood of him with a re-injury getting back on track is very, 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 very low. It doesn't mean it can't happen. Doesn't mean he can't be in week 7, 8, 9, 10 an absolute force. And then let's say he gets hurt in week 12. That could happen. Like, those things can happen. He could be good for a second and then he could fall off. My educated guess here, using logic, using historical data, using 20 years of experiences, you're better off avoiding Cooper Kupp than banking on him, unless you can swoop in and take him from a panicked owner and grab him for a bench piece that you're not going to use, even if it's as high as, like, let's say a Drake London or something, but you're stacked. Like, you're never even going to use Drake London. You're a candidate to go get Cooper Kupp. You're a candidate to go get JT and give up a player that maybe we would say don't give up if you needed that player, but because you play in a grandma league and you've got this plethora of wide receivers sitting on your bench, you can go ahead and make that straight up trade and take Cooper Kupp off the hands of a Panic Peter. But for the most part, going in the direction of this injury is not a good look. Christian Watson, I don't mind doing it because he's a young man without the injury history, and we don't even have any sort of indication that and we're batting blind a little bit going after him. There's some risk involved that this thing is going to be something that's more than just sitting out the week to be safe. And so, you know, you're playing with fire a little bit, but it's fun fire to play with because this man's a young man, and I think he's going to have a baller season. Now, him being out does put a little damper on the Jordan Love unveiling, but I still like Jordan Love a lot in Superflex. I still think he's going to have a very, very good day. Romeo Doubs becomes a very intriguing start. If you lost Christian Watson and for some reason Doubs is on waivers, and Doubs is available in an uncomfortable amount of leagues. I don't think he's available in every league, obviously, but you know, if you play in somewhat of a grandma league, he might be out there and you might want to check it out. There are other options. We can go through them. Tank Dell seems to be on waivers in so many leagues. We did a preemptive waiver wire show here on the channel, like no one else. And we had Tank Dell sitting there. Poor McKinnon, 33% ownership. That one isn't looking like it's probably going to be, you know, he might be dropped in enough leagues to where you scoop him up, but we can move McKinnon down and put him right there. These three are potential league-winning running backs to grab and consume. We'll even throw McKinnon over here for now, but he might get released in a lot of leagues, and this could become like a 70% type of thing. And then you got to ask yourself, is McKinnon worth grabbing and holding? Because he was the number one fantasy football running back in 2 separate weeks last year. There's still some value here in McKinnon if he gets dropped. But these 3 RBs are, as of this moment, the top 3 projected waiver claim requested running backs coming out of week number 1. Russian collusion, who's questionable? Walker's not. Walker's good to go off the injury report. Walker to the moon. These 3 guys, make sure they're not available on your waiver wire pool right now, because these I project to be the top waiver claims. I think Tank Dell will be a very sought after commodity coming out of week 1. So make sure you grab him now if for some reason you're dealing with the Christian Watson ruled out situation. That's that right there. Cooper Kupp is the next player that we're going to want to talk about here. Cooper Kupp, little Cooper Kupp. Appreciate Cooper Kupp. We like Cooper Kupp. We're not hating on Cooper Kupp. I know people think I throw shade on him. I love Cooper Kupp. He's a very, very solid dude. And he gave Fantasy Football Worlds an amazing run. And I'm not saying it's completely over. And I'm not saying he can't come back in week 5 or 6 and play pretty well. But Cooper Kupp, according to McVay, there's a definite possibility Cooper Kupp hamstring lands on the IR, which means he would be out the first 4 weeks of the season. And so that's what we're looking at right now. So hang tight on that. I think expect it. I don't know that it's going to be a certainty. I think we have until Saturday for this decision to be made. So we're going to kind of hang tight. I do anticipate, if I had to guess, if I was going to be a wagering man on this particular topic, I would project that we're doing a breaking live stream saying Cooper Kupp is being placed on IR and he will miss the first 4 games of the season. So make sure you understand what we're talking about here. He would not be eligible to play football until week 5 if that happens. That breaking news stream I do predict will be forthcoming. This right here is bad news for Cooper Kupp, bad news for the Rams, bad news for everybody that is involved in that Rams situation, and any player tied to the Rams, any player that you're expecting to do well for the Rams, like Cam Akers or Cooper Kupp upon his return. If Stafford goes down, this team is toast. This team is cooked. This team is done. There's no fantasy football production. There's no white doves or pot of gold at the other end of the rainbow for this team. Stetson Bennett could be placed on injured reserve with the shoulder. This guy is their only hope if let's say Stafford goes down. So, we'll have to see how that plays out. But Stetson Bennett was like the one silver lining of, okay, let's say that Matthew Stafford couldn't stay healthy. Matthew Stafford, who's not jiving with his young wide receivers. Matthew Stafford, who literally had a piece of paper that he'd carry around and say, okay, this is John over here. I got pictures of my wide receivers' faces and their names, because he didn't know their names. There's no rapport being built between Stafford, often injured quarterback, and his receiving crew. This is a disaster waiting to happen. This is going to be one of the worst teams, the Rams, in 2023. And if Bennett can't come in, if Stafford fails or gets injured, there's really no hope for the passing attack. And even upon his return, let's say somehow, some way, let's say he goes on IR like I fully expect by Saturday, and we'll do a breaking news show on that. If he goes on IR, he's out weeks 1 through 4, and when he returns, what's going to happen? When he returns, if Kupp, or if Stafford isn't the quarterback, let's say, very high likelihood Stafford either gets injured or just flames out at this point. A quarterback the team didn't necessarily want back, by the way. They were potentially trying to trade him, and when he showed up and they're like, okay, I guess he's our quarterback again. If he flames out, Kupp, who is born off the volume of the laser locking of the man named Matthew Stafford, it's going to be hard to replicate his production from the past. So that's that. George Kittle, questionable for week number 1. Don't anticipate he goes. It's a tough matchup anyway. So if he is able to go and he's limited, it's not a very good matchup anyway. So look to a different direction. Dulcich maybe. There's a handful of guys. That Juwan Johnson's probably one of my favorites if you could go out and get him. Jerry Jeudy questionable for week 1. Don't expect him to play. And even if he does, how healthy can he be? Andrews, this is looking like one of those players that, guys, I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. I don't know if Andrews is going to stay healthy. Very questionable for week number 1. Remember when he was coming back from injury last year and we're like, okay, buy him low. And I was even victim to think that this was a good idea. I was like, he's going to come back. Once he comes back, Andrews is going to ball out. Let's maybe buy him low. Andrews never returned to form. I'm not saying he's done. I'm not saying put a fork in him, but I'm getting a little worried is what I'm trying to say. If you have him, I don't know if he's even tradable while he's injured, but I'm tempted to say go get a Debo and a Conquo for Mark Andrews. I'm tempted to say go try and give up Andrews and another wide receiver you don't plan on using for a Calvin Ridley. I'm tempted to trade Andrews, who probably has higher ADP value than Kenneth Walker, who's back, not on the injury report, and totally ready to go for week number 1. Breece Hall, who I think a lot of people are going to take the Jahmyr Gibbs situation and carry it on over and punish Breece Hall for it and say, I don't think he's going to get any work now. And he very well may be limited more so than Gibbs was, or to the same tune Gibbs was in week 1. So maybe even coming out of week 1, you can still trade Mark Andrews for a Breece Hall. But I'm just getting I don't know. I like Andrews. I'm not saying sell him low. I still think he could have a good year. I want to make sure I'm not panicking people to the point where they're just selling him off. But I am getting a little worried, and I think Andrews owners probably are too, that this guy might not be able to stay healthy, going forward, or it's going to be at least tough for him to. Ramondre Stevenson questionable for week 1 with an illness. We'll have to figure out how to navigate that if that turns out to be something. Illness, I lean toward there's a more likely chance of him playing than some of these other guys that are dealing with injuries, but you never know how sick somebody is. Odell Beckham Jr. was removed from the week 1 injury report and will play against the Texans. Not a huge believer he plays even 8 games this year, but he certainly is a crafty wide receiver 4-5 right now, I suppose. Nick Bosa looks to be good for week 1. Shanahan said he looked really good. Bosa should be out there. There is a little risk of injury with Bosa given his extended stay away from football in camp. Now, I know everybody says you stay in shape, he looks great. It's still different. Football hits different. Football feels different. Injuries you're more susceptible to an injury when you've held out or sat out during all of camp. It's just the nature of it. You can argue it all you want. You could say he's a specimen, and I'm not saying he's going to get hurt, but there's that potential possibility. Holdouts are just not a good thing. Same thing with Josh Jacobs. Big, huge risk for injury for Josh Jacobs. Hollywood Brown hamstring is questionable for week number 1. Keep an eye on Michael Wilson, the rookie. I really think he could be the potential good story coming out of Arizona. Maybe the lone positive story coming out of Arizona at some point this year. Jeremy Fowler giving us a bit of a update on Darren Waller's hamstring. It's not believed to be a serious injury, and the Giants are hopeful he can play Sunday night's game versus the Dallas Cowboys per source. No firm determination yet. Team will likely monitor through the weekend. So just wanted to give you all an update on that. Appreciate every single one of you that's in here. Let's hit these super chats. Let's get to these phone calls. We've got about 300 people in the live stream. Please punch that thumb up button on your way in the door, and let's handle some of these super chats. This is from Carlito's Way, first $5 hauler of our first super chat of the day. First super chat of the day gets a standing O, so appreciate you, my mang Carlito. Carlito says Watson out, need a replacement. Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, or Odell. Give me Zay. Let Zay fly, bro. Let Zay fly. We got a $50 hauler from Daniel. Daniel, I appreciate you, my main man. Daniel dropping a 50 watt on screen. Unbelievable, Daniel. Unbelievable. And you get yourself a $20 Make It Rain
alert. Super chat alert.
Session. Beast, Daniel. Beast. And I'm sending you to the moon.
To the moon.
Daniel, you are a spaceman forever in my heart, bro. Smitty, 12-man, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. Drafted Bijan, Gibbs, Allen, Watson, Waller, Dotson, Gabe Davis, Gibson, McKinnon, Kincaid. Okay, so traded Allen, then traded Allen, Waller, and Juju and McKinnon for A.J. Brown, T-Law, and Ingram. Allen, Waller, McKinnon for A.J. Brown, T-Law, Ingram. I like that. I like that trade. I'll Smitty approve that.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I don't like losing Josh Allen. I'm assuming this is a 1 QB, right? I don't like losing Josh Allen, but I do love getting A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown in exchange for, Waller, who's banged up. Give me Ingram over Waller in some context, right? I mean, because Waller's already banged up. He's an older player. Ingram is not a spring chicken himself, but he does have some injury concerns as well. So, you almost can wash that and just say, hey, they're both injury prone. So it comes down to Juju, McKinnon. I like McKinnon. If he gets dropped, put him on the end of your bench. Make sure you guys look for him when he gets cut. Just grab him and hold him. He's got some upside, but he's nothing to right now that you could count on, right? We just experienced that. So you're getting A.J. Brown and T-Law for Josh Allen. And when you think back to a draft day scenario, you're drafting A.J. Brown ahead of Josh Allen and T-Law. And so, bro, it's a home runs move for you. That's a great job. It's an uncomfortable move to make because you hate giving up the big quarterback. But when you think about it from a draft context, you're killing it. You're crushing it. Who should I pick up? Dell, Gainwell, or Dobbs? Dobbs is interesting this week. And I'd say he's the safest play this week. But Dell might be your long-term gem. He might not. Rashee Rice and Dell are probably the 2 crafty pickups for later wide receiver rookies that could kind of get on the map and be competitive with JSN and the boys. So Rashee Rice is good as well. This is a tough one. I'd say Dobbs this week because Christian Watson is out. And, do you want Tank Dell as well? I kind of do. I kind of think Tank Dell needs to be added before this week. Got offered Debo for Andrews. I can get Debo and Walker. Can I get Debo and Walker? I don't know if you can get Debo and Walker. You could have maybe if you gave up a little bit when Walker was banged up. But now that Walker is not even on the injury report, this is just a maintenance day that he took off yesterday that everybody freaked out about. I don't know that you're getting both of them, bro. You certainly could try. Maybe you throw something in, but would I take Debo for Andrews? As long as you can, you'll be okay at tight end. I probably would. I don't think that this is something that is necessarily gonna like linger or go away. I don't know. I'm indifferent on Andrews right now, and I love Debo Samuel. Debo could have a rough week 1 though. He's got a tough matchup against the Steelers, so it's not like a home run slam dunk, but it's not something that I'm opposed to. And I certainly feel like if you're in need at wide receiver, I think it's a great move. Phone lines are open. Dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Presented by Brennan Williams, who's the top super chatter of the month. And this gets reset every month. And he dropped a $240 super chat combined in one show. So he is the presented by follower on the phone lines so far. Replace him. Replace him. And not replace these two. Replace this chatter, this super chatter, by beating their super chat. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that there. It didn't work. All right, I'll have to fix it later. Anyway, dial into the phone line. Phone lines are open. We're going to do 30-second phone calls only for the current moment. Sam Howell or Jordan Love, Tank Dell or Mingo. Give me Tank Dell and give me Jordan Love. I still think Jordan Love is going to have a good day. Thank you for the super chat, my main man. My main man, Young. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Dial into the show. Dial into the show. Appreciate you all so very much. You guys absolutely rock. Everybody is a monster here on the channel. And I can't thank you guys enough for all that you do. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let's see here. Howell and Dell says Cowboys. Okay. Why would you do that, says Alex. Alex, I don't know who you're talking to. JSN or Zay Flowers, half PPR. Or Zay Flowers, right? I'm sure it's Zay Flowers. I'd probably go Zay in week 1, but I really love JSN, man. I'd probably go Zay week 1, but I really do believe he could end up taking that spot really quickly. JSN could easily be taking that spot. This is from Joe. Joe's $5 hauler. What trades should I go after? Superflex $200 auction. T-Law, Rogers, Bijan, K9, Wilson, Flowers, Brees. I love the RBs. Love your wide receiver 1, obviously. Love Brees Hall. I don't think there's much to move here, bro. You can't sell any of these pieces yet. You don't have any trades to make. No one's buying Odell. No one's buying Kincaid. No one's buying JSN. No one's buying Brees Hall. No one's buying Flowers yet. No one's buying K9, even if, the news is positive. No one's going to pay you what you need. There's no moves to make, Joe. You got to let this team ride out. I could force something, but you'd be tearing down the squad that you work so hard to build up. So I would say you have to wait, bro. You have no option but to wait. 360 people in here. Punch the thumb up button. Appreciate you all. Rock out with a $5 hauler. Says my kicker is Gano, but McManus, Joseph, Sanders, Decker need high upside 10-plus points to try and make up for McKinnon mess. Every kicker scoring is a little bit different. I would go off the projections in your league, bro, and if Gano is atop those guys. McManus is interesting. Joseph is, I think, a pretty good kicker this week, but at the end of the day, take a look at your scoring too, because some of your scoring is a little bit different, and I'm not really like swapping out anybody that's projected over the next guy. Once you get past like the top 4 or 5 kickers, it's tough. It's a crapshoot, and I'd be lying to you if I said, this feels like McManus is going to outscore Gano this week. It's a crapshoot. I would hang with the highest average scoring kicker. You need the averages to kick in before you can really, I think, rely on averages for kickers. But I think we can go off some projections early on at least and say, which one in your scoring format is projected, because those guys are really close. I don't feel like you're necessarily going to. This is where you make mistakes, when you start swapping out and doing things. You drafted Gano for a reason, right? James Conner, play Ken. Bro, play Ken. Chris says, I don't know what that means, Chris, but if you're trying to play James Conner over Kenneth Walker, I would say no way. No way, bro. Smitty, should I go pick up Jonathan Mingo? Will, it depends on the scenario, my guy. It depends on the scenario. There's no way I can tell you to go make that move without knowing any details whatsoever, Will. Would you trade Diggs, Connor, and Sean Tucker for Dotson and Laporta? Diggs, Connor, Sean Tucker for Dotson and Laporta. No, I wouldn't. I would trade Connor for another player. I mean, bro, you could look at it this way. I'm not saying to trade Connor for Laporta and Sean Tucker, or I'm sorry, Connor for Laporta, but look what you're doing there. Diggs, Hoovie down to Dotson in order to get Laporta. You could trade Connor, and I wouldn't, but you could trade Connor for Laporta and keep Diggs. Like, what are you doing, Hoovie? No, absolutely not. I mean, look at you're losing your shirt on that. I love Dotson, but go buy Dotson, in a different way. In a different way. Bill says, smash the thumb up button. Bill, are you back at work yet, Bill? Dial into the show, people.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Replace this super chatter by beating their super chat. Okay? Anybody wants to own this little real estate right here, it's up to you. It's up to you to come in strong with a super chat and deliver. Young dropping a wad on screen, a $2 hauler, says, would you drop Roshan or A-Chain for Mingo? No, I would not. Mingo's good, but those are league-winning running backs. You hang tight, you hold, you stay the course, and don't drop A-Chain or Roshan. A-Chain or Roshan, as we talked about on the preemptive waiver wire show, which is right here. Roshan and Bigsby and A-Chain are projected by me, at least at this moment in time, to be some of the top pickups of the week. And we probably can put, let's put Rashee Rice over here as well. Rashee Rice is definitely a player that's going to be hot off the press coming into week number 2. So grab Rashee Rice. And in some leagues, you can everybody's league's very weird. In some formats, you can pick up players early. It's crazy. Depends on your league. It depends on your league settings. Depends on your platform. Very rare, but you could pick up guys. What's up? What's up, Jake from San Diego? What can I do for you?
Mitty, what up, man? So I got Terry McLaurin right now. I guess they're saying he's healthy. I got him starting over Dalvin Cook, Raheem Mostert, and Brandon Cooks. Is this Smitty approved or what?
Over Brandon Cooks, Raheem Mostert, and who else?
Dalvin Cook.
I think Dalvin Cook and him are pretty close, but I'd probably start McLaurin over those guys. But could Brandon Cook score? Sure. Could Dalvin Cook score? Yeah. Could Dalvin Cook be okay? I think he could. But McLaurin's not 100%, that's for sure. But he's, they're removing him from the injury report, which is ridiculous because he's not 100% healthy. But I definitely would roll with him in that scenario.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Later, pal. Later. Young, I saw your call, but I didn't get to it in time. Oh, there you are, Young. I got you. Young, what's up, man?
Hey, what up, Smitty?
What's up?
I sent a super chat the other day, and I was asking you, but you said it was kind of a toss-up. But I just want to know. I'm struggling. I want to know if I should start Khalil Herbert or Javonte for Sunday.
I've got this question a lot. And I wish there was an easy answer here. Khalil Herbert led the entire NFL in yards per carry last year. He's so disrespected. He's even disrespected by me, who loves him and believes in him, because I get asked questions about Khalil Herbert or this player, Khalil Herbert or that player. And it's I can't always say Khalil Herbert, and I want to. And, what he did in the preseason when they leaned on him real quickly and he caught a touchdown pass and looked electric doing it. It's like we keep just writing them off. And I don't want anybody to think because Roschon Johnson is the top pickup of the week projected, or Roschon and A-Chain and Bigsby, they're all kind of tied. Those numbers are not the confidence level numbers. Those numbers are their percentage of availability back when we did our waiver show like a week ago, or less than a week ago, or about a week ago. So those numbers probably have changed a little bit. But Roschon, me loving Roschon does not mean Herbert will fail. I'd probably say, and we can go to the chat for a vote. Can we get a vote, Javonte, or are we going with Khalil Herbert? I think Herbert's safer. I think Javonte's higher risk, higher reward. I think what we just saw in terms of Gibbs' slow unveiling gives us a little caution and pause for a couple players. One being Breece Hall, who we're told they will be careful with. And look, the Lions coaching staff told us they would unleash this guy slowly, but people had this expectation that was so high that when he went out there and did just very good when he was given the ball, but wasn't given the ball as much as we wanted, everyone just freaked out. And I've got a video on this, and I'll talk about it in a minute on this show too, that everybody needs to calm the hell down about Jahmyr Gibbs. But the one thing that's different between Breece Hall and Jahmyr Gibbs is Sean Payton has not come out and said we will be easing Javonte in very slowly, like we heard about Breece Hall, like we've heard about Jahmyr Gibbs. Those are very blatantly, we were told straightforward, we're going to slowly unveil these two guys. And so Breece Hall is a little bit of a risk. You could get the same kind of like, oh, wow, great play. Looks really good, but he got not enough work. That could happen. I'm not saying it will. It could. It's a very high likelihood it could happen. So it depends on Breece Hall and another player who you have as your option. But when in the case of Javonte, Sean Payton said he's going to get a heavy workload. And in the preseason, they leaned on him really hardcore in the short amount of time they played him. It was run him, pass to him, run him, pass to him, pass to him. He was all over the place. And so I'm really excited about Javonte, but I will say Khalil Herbert is safer. Javante's higher risk, higher reward. I wish there was an answer, bro. There's just not. I just think that, like, if you were playing it safe, Herbert has earned it. Javante's about to earn it and prove it. That's all I can say.
Right.
I wish there was an easy answer. There's not, bro. There's not. This is just one of those 50-50 calls where I'm just being honest with you. I could lie to you and just give you an answer because I'm supposed to. Even if you super chatted, I'm not going to force it. This is one that I'm admitting to you. I'm wavering all the way up to kickoff. I'm sitting there with my finger over the button going, what in the hell do I do? What in the hell do I do? There's just some of those that everybody feels that way. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't feel that way.
Got you. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I appreciate it. I have Javonte in my starting lineup right now, and I've been leaning more Javonte, so I guess I'll just have to make that game time decision. But I appreciate you, Smitty.
Hey, man, appreciate you. Before I get to you, rock out, Mars, man. Hang tight. Let me get these two $50 haulers out of the way, or these two $20 haulers out of the way. This is from Ray G. Ray G, appreciate. Whoa. Wrong button. Ray G, appreciate.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ray G, my main man Ray. Thoughts on my best ball, Wilson, Pollard. I don't like Russell Wilson, bro, at all. Pollard, Debo. That's Garrett Wilson. That's Garrett. Thank God. That's Garrett Wilson. Now, if you got Russell Wilson later, we're going to have a problem. Garrett Wilson, Pollard, Debo, Hall, Gibbs, Walker, Addison, JSN, Ingram, A-Rod. That's a great team. I really like that best ball team, bro. JSN just sitting there waiting in the wings. I love it, man. A-Chain waiting in the wings. Dobbs is a great best ball, guy to have right now because of this week 1 performance he could potentially drop. Addison, you got a good team. Ingram, I like Ingram a lot. Cowboys defense, I like that. Way to go, Ray. Way to go. You did good, son. You did good. Ray dropping the $20 hauler. Joseph dropping a 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Joseph, my boy. Fields Bijan, Javonte, Swift, McKinnon. Hold McKinnon unless Roshan or A-Chain are out there. I do love Roshan and A-Chain right now. Wilson, D. Smith, Ridley, Dotson, JSN, Okonkwo, Kincaid. You are absolutely 100% listening to me when I say Kincaid, Okonkwo, and Kincaid, Komet, Kincaid, somebody. There's so many people that just went out there off of my Kincaid rants and raving and literally drafted just him. They just drafted Kincaid. They heard me, but they didn't listen to me. And I'm not saying Kincaid's going to go out and crap the bed in week 1, but good Lord. Like, there's one thing that you got to learn about my content and my channel. Sometimes we start off slow. It happens. It happened last year too, because your boy has a tendency to lean toward the riser and the younger player, the upside play. And sometimes the younger upside riser doesn't get off to the races as quickly as we sometimes want them to. Breece Hall took him till week 4. Everybody panicked. Walker took him till week, whatever. This is a natural thing to happen with guys getting injected into their offenses. So, like Kincaid, I've literally been beating the drum on the Kincaid situation over and over and over. Kincaid is going to be amazing. Kincaid, make sure you back him up. Kincaid, cuff him to Okonkwo. Kincaid's the guy you're drafting before the guy you're actually starting in week 1. You're drafting Kincaid, you're backing him up, but you're starting the backup until Kincaid's ready. And everybody's coming at me saying, Smitty, I only have Kincaid. What do? Do I cut him? And it's just like, I understand that the draft might have unfolded a certain way. You had to grab this running back. You had to grab that running back. You had to grab this wide receiver. And by the end of the draft, you didn't have time to draft a backup, or you didn't have room for it. And I understand. I understand how that can happen. I'm not mad at anybody. But good Lord, so many people have just Kincaid. And they're going to be disappointed potentially in week 1. Gibbs, slow unveiling, and we knew that was going to maybe happen. The coach told us. The coach said, we're going to unveil him slowly. And I'm a victim of this too. I thought to myself, maybe, and if everybody on hold could mute, please. There's some rustling around, some mouth breathing. Please mute yourself. I'm coming to you in a second. But this is one of those situations where it's like, what were we going to do? Okay? And I'm not saying any mistakes were made. I'm not saying we're going to regret this pick in the 3rd round. I did say wait until the 3rd round. Some of you win at like 12 and 14 overall. And now you're DMing me saying, Smitty, I took him at 14. I never told you to take him at 14, nor am I saying it won't work out. He'll earn your 14 overall value. But here's your problem. You didn't package in the risk of maybe a slow unveiling. And they told us from the jump heading into week 1, we may take it easy on Gibbs. What did they do? They took it easy on Gibbs. And what did everybody say after? Oh my God, this is a disaster. We have panic Peters everywhere. But things are going to get better. If you didn't have your eyeballs on the situation last night, then you are a panic Peter. If you watched the game, he was electric. He was elusive. He was slippery. And he will get more work. And what were we going to do, though? We're going to sit him? Even when we're told could be limited workload. You put your head through the wall if you sat him off of that comment and he ripped off a 75-yard touchdown reception. Just out in the flat, catches a football, makes one move, goes 75 yards. Or even better yet, had he just not fallen, tripped and fell and scored that touchdown last night. If you were watching, Gibbs had a touchdown. He fell. I don't know if he got nervous. He just tripped and fell. It was pretty much he made 2 mistakes last night. Everyone said he didn't hit the certain hole. But look, his elusiveness, like you could have, if he was tackled on that one play near the end of the game, it was, I believe, the reception, and he like literally caught the ball. He went into a congestion and then rolled around and kept going another 10 yards or so. Had he got tackled right there, someone would have said, oh, he didn't read the receiving lane properly. It's his elusiveness that gets him where he needs to get. And so I don't necessarily feel like he didn't hit the hole here, or I'm going to be critical. This is his style of play. But his one mistake was he tripped and fell, didn't get in the end zone. Would have scored. Had he scored, the landscape coming into this today's show would have been completely different. It would have been, oh my God, he's got a touchdown. He had about 80 something, 80, 90 total yards. This is unbelievable first week. It's only going to get better. He tripped and fell, and now the narrative is different. But what were we going to do? We're going to sit him. You're going to sit Jahmyr Gibbs in week 1, and if he rips off a 50-yard touchdown, you're putting your head through a wall? I don't think so. No one made mistakes. Okay, the only mistake people made was having the high, lofty expectation without the realization or the preparedness that you could walk out of week 1 a little bit disappointed in the workload. That's it. It's all going to improve from here. I don't even know why I got in that topic. I think somebody asked me a question, but this $20 hauler from Joseph. Oh, I think that's where I was going here. Fields, Bijan, Javonte, Swift, McKinnon, Wilson, Devontae Smith, Ridley, Dotson, JSN, Okonkwo, Kincaid. I think I got on this rant because of Kincaid. You did exactly what you needed to do. You backed up Kincaid. You got Okonkwo. This is a great team. Kincaid missed Gibbs by 1 spot. Third, watch Walker and Etienne go off the board early. Feel light at running back. Thoughts? Javonte Swift and Bijan is not light at running back. You're fine. You've got Fields. You've got Ridley. You've got Devontae Smith. You've got Garrett Wilson. Dotson might pop off against the Cardinals. JSN could be really crafty. This is a wait-and-see team. I don't tinker with it right now because Javonte's going to go out and do good work, gain value. Swift could go out and do good work, gain value. Devontae Smith, I think he's undervalued in terms of trade. People draft him high. People don't like to trade for him. It's a weird little paradox. Ridley, not respected like he's going to be. You let these guys go out and ball, and then we have a conversation after, Joseph. Don't force anything. Your team is actually really, really good, and I think you're a little bit harsh on your running back stable. This $2 hauler from Giovanni, my team, 2QB Superflex tight end premium, ... Giovanni, let me go look for that second message somewhere. Chris, with a $5 hauler, need help. 12-team PPR, start 1. Judy, JSN, Burks, Quentin Johnston, Penny. I'm going JSN. None of these options are easy, good, like clear-cut decisions. JSN's the most talented. And yeah, while he's banged up in one way, he's probably the healthiest or most has the most opportunity out of all these guys. If you look at the combination of that, opportunity and health, he is the best combination of them all. Even though Burks worries me, Quentin Johnston's role is what? He's not even the third wide receiver option right now. Penny, he could get injured in the first quarter. Judy's banged up right now and not even expected to really play at this point. So JSN's the easy call, my main man. And let me get Giovanni's thing in a second here. 44 Bird, DeAndre Swift or Khalil Herbert. I'm going Khalil Herbert. He again is the safe play. My man, he's the safe play. And Giovanni with his team, he says tight end premium, Superflex 2QB, Mac Jones, bench. I don't know what you did here. You only have one message. Giovanni, you have your super chat, and it says tight end premium ... And then you have your bench right here. Jordan, Mac Jones, Jordan Addison, Sean Tucker. There's nothing else attached to this question. So I'm sorry, there's nothing I can even do on that point. There's only 2 messages. Maybe your ... you meant to type in more and didn't. I'm not sure. But let me know, and I'll try and take care of you. Let's go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, you're live. Appreciate you being here. What can I do for you, Rock Out? Punch that thumb up button. 503 people in here, and we have only, I believe, 114 thumbs up. We can do better than those rookie numbers. Hit me with the Rock Out. What's up?
Yeah, I got Waller hurt, and I got Kincaid as my backup. Would you wait for Waller to be hurt and maybe put him IR and get Ferguson, or play Kincaid?
I mean, like I said, you're playing with a little bit of fire going Kincaid. I'm not saying that it's not going to be fun. I'm not saying that Kincaid's not going to do well week 1. I hope he does. But can you put Waller on IR if he's ruled out in your league, or does he have to be actually on IR? Every league's got a little bit different.
If he's like ruled out, I think I can put him on IR, and then I can pick up Ferguson.
Yeah, I would wait. I mean, there's no downside to that. But I would certainly feel like Ferguson's the better play week 1 at least. And if you get it wrong, you're probably getting it wrong to the tune of like a touchdown and 40 yards that Kincaid has. And we're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like Laporta had, what do you have, 5 catches for 39 yards, I think? And you have people saying, but Laporta's going to be a problem. Laporta looks amazing. So, like, Kincaid's first outing, if you get it wrong, I don't think you're going to lose too much sleep at night, but you have him ready and waiting in the wings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, it was only like a 0.2 difference between the kickers.
0.2 difference between the kickers? I got Young Super Chat and Danny Super Chat. I'm coming for you guys. Appreciate you. I'll put it on screen here. Appreciate you both. I'm sorry I missed those two. And Chris's Super Chat. Those kind of came in late. It was weird. And then Lego's Super Chat. I'm sorry, Rockout, what did you just say?
Yeah, it was only a 0.2 difference between Gano and the other kickers.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I probably stay with your gut instinct when you made it versus second guessing yourself. And you're trying to go find a swing somewhere to potentially make up for something else, and you're gonna end up digging an even deeper hole. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'll go that route. All right, Rock Out. Anything else, pal? Call back if you got another one, or if you want to just go on mute right now, you can go on mute real quick. Let me get these super chats out of the way. Okay, everybody on the phone line, stay muted if you could. I'll come to you in 1 second. We got a $20 holler from Lego.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Lego dropping Matt Biaggi, I'm trying to add you to the phone line, but your phone's acting up or something, bro. Mute yourself. I think I got you on this time, but mute yourself real quick. Lego, a player like Gibbs is always one play away from winning your matchup. He looked incredible. Appreciate your insight. Glad I snagged him in the 3rd round. I'm so happy for everybody that believes in his 3rd round value. It's crazy to me. The double down Donnies in the chats and in the comments, and we had a couple comments yesterday that we put on the Planet Uranus men list.
And off he goes to the planet.
So we had a couple people that have made Planet Uranus. We have Matt with the Gibbs is trash. We've got Okafor with Gibbs is cooked. I wish I would have grabbed, who was it last night? Garrett's saying that Gibbs is, what did he say? I forget if he said doo-doo or whatever he is. I got to find Garrett. If you're out there, please repeat your comment so we can properly put you on Planet Uranus. We got James P., who will probably always stay on here with the Breece Hall is undraftable comment. And so if anybody else would like to add to this, please drop your ridiculous Gibbs take, and I'll gladly throw it on here. Lego, appreciate your $20 holler, my broski. Chris, need a flex help 12-team PPR, start Judy. I already got to this one, I guess. JSN, thank you. Young, would you drop? I already got to that one as well. The Mingo one. Yeah, don't drop. Don't get Mingo for Roshan or A-Chain. How's my team, Smitty? Lamar, Bijan, Pollard, Ridley, Dotson, Godwin, Gibbs traded J.K. and Geno to the Russ owner for Gibbs. That's unbelievable. Did you do that like after the game? Hawkinson, Judy, Addison, Kincaid. Very good squad, bro. Not much to move here unless you're going to try and trade like Godwin and, maybe you trade Hawkinson and get like a Debo type player and go lighter like a Conquo at tight end or something like that. I do like that move a lot right now, the Debo Samuel move. Godwin for Debo, give up a bench player. Those kind of things I like a whole lot. Danny, appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much for the super. And I think I'm caught up on the supers. All super chats will get handled immediately, and we're caught up, so it'll be pretty easy for me to get it. Danny, appreciate you, my man. Let's go over to Scuba Steve. If everybody else would mute. Donnie Bravo, I hear some mouth breathing. Chris from New York, please mute. Ant Carter, please mute. Let's go over to Scuba Steve.
Hey, Smitty, so I got a question for you. I'm trying to make sense of this Denver backfield. So, real quick, I know that Sean Payton, I think it was yesterday, the day before, he said that Devontae Williams is expecting, like, a big workload. I don't know if you got to see the latest report. This was on Roto World. This was 34 minutes ago. Somebody that works for the DenverSports.com. His name's Andrew. I guess he says that he thinks that this guy Jail. You have to see the guy's name. I don't want to say the guy's name wrong, but he said that that third string running back is also going to see significant time, and that it's going to be a 3-man rotation. I just want to get your thoughts on that. I mean, I don't know if this guy's accurate. Like, seems like reports are all over the place between
Well, you can't even give me his name though. You know what I mean? So like what? Like
I just can't pronounce the guy's name. I don't want to say the guy's name wrong. It's Jaleel something.
Is he from the Atlantic? Like where is he from? Where is he from? Give me the source. I'm looking at Roto World.
It's on Roto World. Roto World. It's one of it's literally right under the JSN news from that the Pete Carroll said that he has no limitations. Right under that it says that guy's name.
Well, the earliest report on Roto World is Peyton Javonte will play big role. So I'm looking at Roto World right now. I don't know if there's some other article or something, but what I'm trying to tell you is the coach is telling you he's going to play a big role. Some other person's trying to predict a 3-man rotation. I'm probably going to roll with the coach. I'm also going to roll with the preseason, which showed this guy being ultra used. Not saying not to cuff that stable up if you can. If you've got Javonte, it's smart to cuff it up. But Javonte is a tackle-breaking monster. I do like McLaughlin. I think he's a good player, but whatever you're reading, first of all, I don't see it because I'm looking at NBC Sports right now. I don't see it. If I look up Javonte Williams, this is the most recent thing right here. It says Broncos coach Sean Payton said that Javonte Williams will play a big role versus the Raiders in Week 1. Williams is recovering from multiple torn ligaments in his knee heading into training camp. He avoided the PUP list, was used extensively in a brief appearance in the preseason, and his coach is now talking about him having a big role. His exact usage in Week 1 is still to be determined. All signs point to running back 2 numbers. That's the most recent news. I'm pulling up Javonte Williams' profile on Roto World. So again, my question. Hold on. My question would be: are we trusting the coach, or are we trusting somebody that's got an opinion piece that you don't really know whether they're accurate or not? That's all I'm saying. So I would be careful. I would be careful.
All right. I was gonna say if you need this because it's under that guy's name. I know the chat. I think in the chat they some people were posting the guy's name in there. If you wanted to look up that guy's name.
I don't really need to see. I don't really need to see it. I'm pulling up. Right. I'm pulling it up right here. I think you're talking about it's under McLaughlin, right? You're talking about the McLaughlin report. Okay. So DenverSports.com's Andrew Mace reports that Broncos running back McLaughlin is going to get significant carries in Week 1. The Broncos are expected to use a 3-back rotation, Javonte and Samaje Perine. There are rumors that the Broncos could ease Williams back in, leaving Perine and McLaughlin in the mix for carries. McLaughlin is the hot hand in Denver after leading the NFL preseason in scoring. But he's a backup. They're trying him out in the preseason. So this DenverSports.com guy, Andrew Mace, have you ever seen him? Do you know anything about his track record? So that's all I'm saying is be careful when you see a report like this, because it's like you just got a report right after that said Sean Payton is going to give him a big workload. So you know what I mean? Like I'm going to take Sean Payton's advice over a guy I've never heard of in my life. Never heard of in my life. And so
no problem, man. You know me, man. Like I tell you, like you said, that's why you always want me to do it. Whenever I try to see any of this news to try to bring it up.
I'm not mad at you.
Because I'm just gonna say because not only for a guy like me, but everybody else that does check that website.
Yeah, they see it. They want to know. It's good.
That's the things that you see,
It's good. No, it's good. It's good advice. JSN will have no limitations in Week 1. That's great news. That report coming off of Roto World as well. That's coming from Pete Carroll's beak. Okay, that's coming straight from Pete Carroll's beak. he's chirping away with that. That's not coming from this Denver sports reporter. So let me put that on the screen as well. But I just want, again, Scuba, I like that you're bringing it up. I don't think it's bad you bring it up. I'm just saying, for anybody that's the problem with the news world. Okay, so real quickly, Pete Carroll said Jackson Smith-Njigba wrist has no limitations in week 1 versus the Rams. The Rams are going to probably get worked over. This is going to be a good little outing for JSN. If you're in a bind with Christian Watson, you got JSN. It's not a bad play. I do want to preface that, like with Breece Hall, like with Kincaid, like with what we just saw with Jahmyr Gibbs, like what we might or might not see with JSN, there could be a slow unraveling of all of them. And you could start JSN and he not be in on 3 wide receivers or on 2 wide receiver sets, and he doesn't get the work you want. You're upset and pissed off. There's the risk. That's the risk you play. You're playing fantasy football, baby. And sometimes there's dice rolls all over the place. Roll that die. Sometimes you don't want to roll it. Sometimes you do want to roll it, but this is good news. So JSN is no limitations. That's fantastic. But as for the Javonte thing, again, I think the problem with the news world is it's what have you heard last? It doesn't matter if it's accurate. It doesn't matter if the guy's got a track record. I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I'm not trying to tear down this guy's report, but it's literally what have you heard last? If someone said, oh, Javonte was seen, on the sideline during practice, not taking first-team reps, and some guy just reports that because he's getting his shoes laced up or something happened with his shoe. Remember when Ridley was looking at his foot and the trainers were looking at his foot and everybody's looking at his foot and he walked to the locker room or even got on the cart, I think, and got carted to the locker room? Everybody and their mother just assumed the worst. They came in, they were just absolutely flipping out, and it ended up being that he had to change shoes because the shoe was rubbing his toe, giving him a little bit of a blister, and so he had to change shoes. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful because Sean Payton's saying he's going to have a big role. This other guy, who the hell knows where he's getting his information and why he even thinks it. This trade Hall, Gibbs, and Gabe Davis trade Hall, Gibson, and Gabe Davis for Gibbs. I'm not going to say that that's a home run because I love Breece Hall, and I don't think, but I mean, you probably would want to take that Gibbs side, but at some point, I think we very well could see Hall have even more value than Gibbs, and that's not me downgrading Gibbs at all from where we had him. So you're playing with fire in some sense, getting rid of Breece Hall, but Gibbs is going to be a league winner. I still firmly believe that. This right here is very, very close. At the end of the day, Gibbs had more ADP value, but I venture to say if we drafted today, Gibbs would not be sniffing the 3.1. He would be going at 3.5 to 4.8, maybe even 5.1. People are so reactive and reactionary. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Hall is not going to be better than Gibbs, because I think they both have the potential to be top 5, 6, 7 running backs in the National Football League this year. So that's a really, really tough question to answer, bro, to be honest with you. Roll in with a $2 hauler. What are your thoughts on Trey Palmer? I think he's okay, but I don't know that he's got any more value than guys like Tank Dell that are on waivers. So Tank Dell feels a little bit more of an attractive play. Like even like a Calvin Austin's a very, very nice hold and wait and see, around that territory. Smitty 12-man PPR, T-Law, Javonte, Swift, Khalil Herbert, Pacheco, McKinnon, A-Chain, Deuce Vaughn, Tyreek, Diggs, Olave, Watson, very good wide receivers. Tony, you could probably cut him, I guess. Don't cut him for nobody, but God, Tony single-handedly lost that game last night. Single-handedly. Like Mahomes was trying his best to win that game, and he was about to win it. He was marching. Tony literally handed the game away on 2 or 3 individual separate occasions. Like I can't believe they're saying that maybe Mahomes still has faith in him, or if that's just politics. But what a disaster. But your wide receivers are unbelievable. Your running backs are obviously, I don't want to say shaky at this moment in time, but we got to wait and see what Swift and Javonte do. I don't know that you want to trade any of them right now or trade any of the wide receivers. Would I trade Diggs to get into could you get Gibbs and somebody for Diggs right now? And when I say somebody, Diggs is a top 12 overall value. Gibbs, like I just told you, if we draft today, the fair market value for him probably fell deep into the third round, if not the fourth round. So if you did do that, you have to get a wide receiver. If you guys can mute on the phone line, I know everybody thinks they aren't making noise, like, oh, I'll just let everybody else mute, but I'm hearing breathing. There's rustling. Just mute if you could real quick. What moves can you make? Just wait. Your moves to wait. Your running backs, you got to see what's what with them. Unless you trade Diggs for Gibbs and something, and Gibbs already played, so it makes it a complicated deal. I think I just hang tight. Breece Hall would be another player. Breece Hall and a Debo for Diggs. I'd certainly explore that. But past that, I'd probably wait and see on that team. This one's from Magnificent 50. Watson out. Pick up Jaden Reed or Luke Musgrave. I like both of them, but I'm going to go Jaden Reed. I think it's a little bit safer play. I like Musgrave a lot, but I think Reed's going to be ultra active with Watson out. Reed's definitely a great replacement. Dameon Pierce, Breece Hall, MT Pickens, or Hollywood Brown. I'm probably going to say that Dameon Pierce is your safest play here. Pickens is really nice. It's just a tough matchup, but as I've said earlier, there's still a possibility he finds his way into the end zone. He's such a gritty guy. He's so good in contested situations. I could see him scoring. Do I think he's going to have a 100-yard game? No, I don't. Not against the Niners D, but I think he could score. So Breece Hall is supposed to be limited. Hollywood Brown is injured. Maybe he doesn't even play. MT's got too much to prove. Dameon Pierce has a tough matchup, but they're going to feed him. So Dameon Pierce is the clear smart play here. There's no like amazing option given the matchups and everything that's going on, but I would definitely go Pierce. I mean, you drafted him higher anyway. What are we doing messing around with putting our almost studs on the bench for what? There's no matchup play even available to you to make you consider that. Would you start in PPR Hall or Gibson based on matchup? I'd probably go Hall myself, but I cannot blame anybody in waiting on Hall. I just think the same concept of starting Gibbs, I couldn't sit Gibbs even with the threat of him potentially having less work than we wanted, because like I said, I'd want to put my head through the wall if he broke off a 70-yard touchdown run. And so the same thing with Breece Hall. Gibbs doesn't give me, even though everybody says Bieniemy is going to use him like, he did, like McKinnon was used in KC. I got to see it before I believe it. Ty Chandler or Roschon off waivers. Roschon easily. I like Ty Chandler. He's very talented, but Roschon has the potential to be a league winner, as does A-Chain, and so as does Bigsby. So there's that. Jack of all trades, the reporter works at Uranus Tribune. Jack of all trades is back, baby. He's back. I'm so glad to see you, Jack. I'm sending you to the moon, pal. You've been missing for a little while, and I'm so glad to have Jack of all trades back in the saddle, the Fantasy Football Show saddle. And then the final super chat hit the phone lines once again. Let's see here, Dameon Pierce or Dotson at flex. This one's tougher because now you've got matchup tempting me to say go with the player that maybe you drafted later, but it's got the better matchup, and that's Dotson. He plays the Cardinals. McLaurin is not 100%, but he will play, and they took him off the injury report, which is a joke because he's still hurt. But that's good. You want him on the field, and he's going to be a detour, a decoy, a problem for the Arizona Cardinal defense, and they're going to look at McLaurin as a bigger threat than Dotson just because that's the way the NFL works. So I'm excited about Dotson this week. Either play is very good. Start JSN or Breece in flex. Go JSN this week. He's got no limitations. He's just a little bit safer. I'm assuming it's PPR. But that's one of those things where I don't think I'd put my head through the wall, because I think JSN could have a day. He could have a good day, at least a decent day. We're going to see him out there. He's going to be catching passes. I venture to say that if Breece Hall's limited, the amount of work that they both get will be very similar, and JSN might at least have in PPR like 3-4 catches for 50 yards, and the total points will be a little bit higher than Breece Hall's if they're both limited, but both have some upside. All right, let's head over to Ron Navy. What's up, Ron?
My boy Smitty is strong with the force.
What's up, Ron?
Hey,
couple of things here, okay? First of all, I want to commend you on how busy you are, and I had no idea, and you paid attention to the voicemail league, and congratulate you on your new acquisition of Calvin Austin onto your team. I didn't even know he was available. Damn it! And you got him for $5.
Yeah, I was trying to find out any player I could in that league, but I to be honest with you, I forget who I even have in that league. I barely can pay attention.
You got 3 players altogether. The other thing I wanted to bring up is let everybody know, and I don't know if you know, right now Deion Sanders' son, he's a quarterback for Colorado, right?
Yep.
He's a booster in Underdog right now. Gives you an extra ×5.
Yep.
And Saquon Barkley is a freebie.
Yeah.
So you got 2, and you can only use 1 at a time, so put in the pick'em.
Yeah, I got that right here. I was going to pull that up on the screen in a second here, but I'll pull it up now since you mentioned it. But so what he's talking about is on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat right now. Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. And so I'm going to do a higher low show every single week. And I don't know if I'm going to do it separate from this show here. I think I will because I want it to be a compartmentalized show or whatever. But they're offering, and not in every state. Arizona's one where I can't partake in this. It sucks because I want to so bad. But if Sanders throws for more than 2.5 TDs, so 3, and you use this, you can 25 times your higher low contest. So if you pick 5 things to be higher or lower on, it will be usually a 20 times multiplier. So every $5 will be 100. Every $20 will be 400. Well, instead of 20 times, it boosts it to 25. So it's a really good one. And the other one was the Saquon Barkley, which I don't know if I have it on this one. Let me show you guys if this is the one that I have it on. This is Calvin Ridley. This is one of my favorite contests right here where I'll put 5 guys together. Calvin Ridley, 5 receptions. I also like his yardage. I think I meant to do yardage on this one, and I hit the reception one on accident, but I love both of them. But his yardage is like something crazy, like 58 yards or something like that. Bijan, 70.5 yards higher. Javonte, 48 yards, 0.5 higher. Olave, 67.5. And Jahan Dotson, 42.5 against the Cardinals. That's a fantastic one. I don't know if this is the one where it's got Barkley. I'm trying to show the Barkley. Let's see, where is it? Trying to show the Barkley one.
It would show up.
Yeah.
Hey, another great one right now is T-Law. They got him at 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's right. He's right here on this one right here. So this is another one. ETN 56 rushing yards. Jahan Dotson 42. T-Law 1.5 TDs. I got the higher on that. Bijan 70.5. And then here's Ridley's yardage. 62.5 yards. Ridley's going to crush that, I think. So those are all. This almost feels like free money there, right there. Let me see if I can find the Saquon Barkley one real quick. Hold on, I got it somewhere in here. I believe it is. Let me see if I can get it. I had a screenshot of it so that I could put it up on the screen here. But yeah, Barkley. What they're doing is they're giving you, here it is. They're giving you like a freebie to add to your 5, picks. So here's what it is right here. So if you go into the Underdog app, again, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The link has been dropped in the live chat right now. Please hit that link, and they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Here's what it looks like. The Barkley one is right here. As soon as that will send to me. 1 second. Got to drag it onto my screen here. Barkley, it'll look like this, and it'll be at the top. So if you go to the NFL tab, it'll say 0.5 total yards. Higher. It's a freebie. So basically, if Barkley doesn't go out there and get a carry for 0 yards and get injured, like he gets 1 yard total yard, then you automatically win one of them. So what you do is you end up, when you're picking 5, you end up picking him as one of those 5, and then all of a sudden now you only have to land 4 of them. Your odds go extremely up, and this is where Ron will always do the max. But the max you can do is $10, I think, on it. You can't do anything higher than $10. They limit your ability to make it a big one. But yeah, so
10 or 20, I can't remember.
It's 10 on that one.
10, I think.
So those are some of them. I'll do a separate show on this, but yeah. Anyway. All right, anything else, Ron?
No, that's all I wanted to say is congratulate you on Calvin Austin. That was a pretty slick move right there. I like it.
I like Calvin
And,
Austin.
You got your other two running backs too. So
We'll see.
the waiver wire just popped.
Yeah.
So
I don't even remember that team, to be honest.
yeah, nice pickups.
Yeah, Calvin Austin's interesting. Like, it's so hard to root for him because you're almost rooting for Pickens to not become quite as good as, and they could coexist, but it makes it like hard to be like, oh, Calvin Austin could be a monster because that means Pickens wouldn't be. But sometimes you got to just look at things individually and say, like Roschon and Khalil Herbert are a perfect example. I love Khalil Herbert. I love Roschon Johnson. I can exclusively love both of them, and I can individually believe and exclusively believe that each one could be a league winner. And so cuffing them together is kind of interesting too.
Calvin Austin is best in best ball because you can take advantage of his splash weeks where he's going to be utilized. I mean, he's going to be a big part of their offense, but he's going to have those weeks where he just gets, goes off. But in a redraft where you got to put your lineup in, it's kind of hard to play him in that other than maybe a emergency flex play position.
All righty, Mr. Ron Navy. Appreciate you.
All right, later.
This one, guy dropped Deontay Johnson, dropped Zay Flowers for him. I know that might feel like a no-brainer to a lot of you, and I certainly would pick up Deontay, if not just for trade value, because he's got high trade value. But I don't know that I'm dropping Zay Flowers. So while I'm telling you to get Deontay, J-Max, I don't know that I can condone the dropping of Zay Flowers. He's a mid-season monster. So Zay Flowers is not somebody you're going to get me to say drop. So in the mid-season monsters, we still have a potential to add. The Moonman list and Marsman list are pretty much locked in, but I'm going to add a couple mid-season monsters before kickoff because those games have not happened yet. Roschon Johnson needs to be on here with Khalil Herbert, so I'm going to find that image real quick of Roschon Johnson and put him on here now before I forget to do that, and then I feel like I can't do it after the fact or something. So let me get a picture of Roschon Johnson and put him on here right now while I've got the screen pulled up. Roschon, you are a mid-season monster with our boy Khalil Herbert, my young man. Okay, so we'll fix that graphic here, but Roschon and Herbie, love that. Let me get on over to, let's see here. We've got Matt Biaggia, then I'm going to go to Carter, then I'm going to go to Joel, then I'm going to go to Chris. So, Matt Biaggia, you're live.
What's going on, Smitty?
What's up?
I got two quick statements and a question. So what I heard about Gibbs is I think they did come out and say his workload will increase. They're easing him in slow, but he should even get more touches as early as week 2.
Of course.
And then I have Andrews and I have Kincaid. So do I start Kincaid if Andrews doesn't go, or do I try to pick up another tight end?
That's tough, bro, because I
know.
I'd probably start Kincaid because I don't want to lose him, but that's a really, really tough proposition to be in, bro. Because
and then is Andrews going to be limited even if he plays? I mean, they're 10-point favorites against the Texans. They could, take care of them pretty quick. And,
yeah. Your guess is as good as mine on whether Andrews is even going to be healthy enough to will he be in and out of the lineup? I mean, this guy's disappointed for more than a year now, and I don't know how much faith I have in Andrews right now. I feel like that's why I wasn't really fond of taking him in the 3rd round. I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. I wasn't campaigning against it or anything. I'm not going to pretend like I 100% told everyone to stay away or anything, but you'd see me in drafts. I would rarely ever draft him, and I'm when people show me their teams and I see Hawkinson and Andrews as like 3rd and 4th round picks, the first thing out of my mouth is trade Andrews, trade Hawkinson, try and go a Okonkwo or some kind of crafty tight end situation, and then get Debo, get Kenneth Walker, get Etienne, get Breece Hall, get Calvin Ridley. But now I don't think anybody's trading for Andrews. I don't think Andrews is going to get you a 3rd rounder if you tried. I don't think you'd have a shot in hell getting a 3rd rounder in a trade.
And then the one other thing I had to say was to Scuba Steve. I mean, I don't know why you're petrified that Smitty is going to make fun of you if you can't pronounce a guy's name.
Scuba, you got an answer for that? I mean, Scuba, you were very
Scuba,
reluctant.
You already are in the phone as Scuba Steve. I don't think he's going to switch your name and call you however you would butcher the guy's name.
I love Scuba. I'd never rename him. Scuba Steve forever.
I know, but he is a little petrified, Peter, about that. You don't know how to say. I mean, By Jan is a number one pick.
Scuba, do you have something you want to say to this man right here? You're being a little hard on Scuba. Scuba is a fan favorite. Like, you got to be careful, Matt. We're talking to Matt Biaggi, right? You're somebody that couldn't pronounce Bijan Robinson, so you kept saying Bijan. Okay, and you're here giving Scuba Steve advice on just coming out and just saying names wrong because, like,
He's afraid the host is gonna, rip into him.
Well, we ripped into you. That's why we call you Matt Biaggi.
I know. I love
this.
It.
This guy Matt couldn't say Bijan. He kept saying he kept saying Biaggi Robinson. Biaggi Robinson.
Like I just
Bijan.
into fantasy like right around the draft.
Okay.
Didn't know who he was, but I knew who he is now.
Yeah, Scuba, you got anything you want to say?
Love the show.
Yeah, later. Scuba, you got anything you want to say to Matt Biaggi? He left. By the way. Scuba.
I was gonna try, man. I will say that guy's name is a lot tougher than saying Bijan, man.
Scuba's so nice. Like, how are you gonna get mad at Scuba Steve? Matt Biaggi.
Hey, Smitty, I wanted to clarify something. I guess there was a couple guys in there. They wanted to know if I called in on the Pat McAfee show. I was gonna say that was me. If you ever see like a clip on there where I'm trying to talk to Pat McAfee and stuff, that was actually me on there.
Hey, why didn't you say, hey, according to the Fantasy Football Show, they love... No, don't do that, because if you do it, obviously they'll know it, and then they'll roast the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, no, but it was like way back. I called in on the Pat McAfee show, and they pretended like they couldn't hear me and stuff on there, and like me and Pat McAfee are actually talking on there. It's like one of their. If you type in the Pat McAfee show, and if you just type in Steve.
I wish that Steve. No offense, Steve. I don't have time for that, but I appreciate it.
No, all right. It's whenever you have spare time, man.
Yeah, I don't have spare time. I don't have spare time. That's what I'm trying to. I'm just trying to be honest with you up front. I don't have time to look it up. I probably will never have time to look it up. But it's funny. I appreciate you, Scuba. Hang tight. Mute yourself real quick, and then we'll come back to you. Let's go to Ant Carter. Actually, Ant Carter, I got a 27. I don't know I don't know what the conversion is on this, but $20 hauler looks like it to me. $27.99 CA. What is that conversion? Somebody convert that for me.
To the moon.
Wrong button.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Hey, Smitty. A big fan. Love Bijan and Garrett Wilson. Would you trade Bijan and Ridley for Garrett Wilson, ETN? Bijan and Ridley for Garrett Wilson, ETN. No, I would not. It's something that makes me pause and evaluate it, so you know it's not like the worst trade in the world. But Bijan, I have as my 1, 2, or 3 overall player. Ridley, I think, could actually hang with Garrett Wilson. Even though I'd take Garrett Wilson over Ridley in a heartbeat if I could do the trade straight up. I don't think the gap is as big as the gap could be between ETN and Bijan. And I love ETN. That's saying something because I love ETN. But no, I would not make that trade. Ian with the $5 hauler, 10-team PPR. Gibbs at running back 1. Lost Watson this week at wide receiver 2. Do I go with Zay or JSN? Flowers could be a tad safer. Do I trade Swift for Deontay? I don't like Deontay. Keep Swift. I'd probably go JSN or look, Zay JSN. Can I get a vote in the chat? JSN or Zay Flowers? Flowers is really nice, bro. Josh Allen and Hill for Herbert and JJ. Josh Allen and Hill for Herbert and JJ. I guess I'd probably go Josh Allen and Hill. Believe it or not. I at first I didn't think I was gonna say that, but that's how I would take it. J-Mac, appreciate you. Please show the Moon Men and Midseason Monsters picks. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate you. I will right now. should I drop Deuce Vaughn for Roshan Johnson? I would, G-Money. I think Roshan Johnson could potentially be a league winner. This is a $10 hauler from Paul. Appreciate you, Paul. What up, Mang? Stream Juwan or Everett? Give me Juwan. Also have Dotson and Christian Watson and Javonte in my flex. So obviously you're going to take Watson out. I think Dotson is safer than Javonte, but they're both very, very good plays. And I struggle to give you an answer on that, to be honest. I would probably waiver all the way up to kickoff. Good to go with who I have in. Obviously not Christian Watson. So take Christian Watson out. If you got to put in somebody from the bench, if you didn't know Christian Watson was out, and it's the title of the show, and we got it all over, I would say, unless I'm misunderstanding here, I would say you're probably good to throw. I would throw Swift in or JSN. Pickens, Swift, and JSN are a very close call. That might be like a last minute question too, where you come and we attack that later in tomorrow or something. Drop Foreman for Jets D. Sure, I don't need Foreman. I don't need Foreman. Whoever's please mute real quick if you don't mind. Is that Scuba? Who's not muted? Let's mute real quick. No mouth breathing. Drop Foreman, yes. Drop Foreman for Jets D. Zach, appreciate your $10 hauler. $10 hauler to Paul.
To the moon.
$10 hauler to Zach. Appreciate Zach.
To the moon.
And this $10 hauler from Zach. My starting team is Rodgers, Hall, Kenneth Walker, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Kincaid, Eagles, defense, benches, Charbonnet, Vaughn, Tank Dell. 14-team league thoughts. 14 teams tough, so you did good. Hall and Walker, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. That's a great 14-team league, bro. Very, very good. No moves to make because it's 14-team. It's so thin, bro. You did amazing. Excellent job. And let that ride. Let those guys go out there and gain some value. $5. I'm sending your team to the moon.
To the moon.
That's one of the better 14-team leagues I've seen in a while. 12-team, one flex. Burrow, Barkley, Akers. Don't love Akers. Wilson, Ayuk, Waller, London, Kittle, JSN. See, let's see here. Burrow, Barkley, Akers. Garrett Wilson, Ayuk. London solid. I like London. Addison, Penny, Gainwell. I don't know, man. Trades. Pick up Love. I suppose I'd pick up Love, but who are you gonna drop? I don't know that I'm dropping any of those guys. Gainwell maybe if you need a quarterback, but Gainwell's hard to also cut because he could be pretty decent. I think this team there's maybe a potential for you later to divide and conquer if they don't bring it. If London, Waller, and Ayuk all have to bring it for this team to, I think, survive. So you may have to let Barkley go out and ball out, and then maybe you could take Barkley and turn it into two players. So I still hear somebody coughing in the background. I don't think people listen to me when I say mute. I just don't think anybody. I think everybody says I'm different. I'm quiet. I don't need to mute. I'm gonna just go ahead and hang on the phone line and go ha ha. Please mute if you're on the line. Appreciate you. Hold 2 on your bench. MT, A-Chain, Roshan. I don't want you cutting Kincaid, but A-Chain and Roshan are league winners, so I have to prioritize that, but I want to find a way, somehow, some way to get, into holding Kincaid. Start Higbee or Freiermuth, Pickens or Hopkins. I go Hopkins. Pickens has a tough matchup. I probably go Higbee this week, but I like Freiermuth more than Higbee long term. $5 hauler from 411. I have deep waiver. Spiffy, please mute. I'm going to put you on hold here. I have a deep waiver wire at tight end pool. Kupp is out. So do you see putting up the numbers in standard league? I have deep waiver wire. Kupp is out. So who do you see putting up the numbers in a standard league? I don't know what this question is saying. Let me have the computer read it because I don't know if I'm reading it properly. I don't know what's going on here. What's this even asking me?
411 now. Super chat $5 from 411 now. I have a deep waiver wire at TE pool. Kupp is out. So who do you see putting up the numbers in a standard league?
I mean, are you asking for you talking about Kupp and then tight end pool? So I'm confused. I mean, I need names. I don't really know. I don't really know how to answer that other than like tight end. Juwan Johnson's really nice. Higbee should be pretty decent. Those are all good plays. As far as Kupp, I don't know if you mean like you're going to put Kupp on IR. Can we mute whoever's not muting, please? Just an idea. Please mute. Everybody check their phone and see if they've got a mute button. Just take a look at it. Miles, appreciate you.
Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. QB Watson, running back McCaffrey, Javonte, Olave, Debo. That's right. Every once in a while, we're just everybody mute. Okay, good. Reading a question. Then about 30 seconds later. Javonte, Olave, Debo, Schultz, Flexes, Amari, DJ, any suggestions? It's a really, really solid group of guys here, but like I'm trading Amari Cooper any chance I can get. Christian Watson and Amari, upgrade your quarterback. Fields, go after it. I'd do that in a millisecond. I hope you got more depth. Miles, you didn't put the depth, so it's hard to know what else to advise you. And then the final super chat to catch up to get back to the phone callers who are so patiently waiting on mute. Appreciate you. I was meaning to put in Dotson for Christian Watson being out for my wide receiver 2. I had Javonte in for my flex because of the matchup over Swift, Pickens, and JSN. I can get behind any of those flex options, to be honest with you. I think that, you know, obviously Dotson's a great play there for Watson. As far as your flex, I mean, crap, bro. Swift, I'd probably go Swift or JSN. Pickens' tough matchup makes me just kind of potentially, I don't know. I want to run from Pickens this week. I'm not saying it like that, but trade Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet for Gibbs and Khalil Herbert. I honestly, this is one of those things where it's like you get both running backs. I don't necessarily think Khalil Herbert and Charbonnet aren't more valuable than Gibbs and Khalil. I think it's a very even trade. Like you're getting rid of one league winner for another league winner. So I don't know how I feel about it. I'd almost say Kenneth Walker and Sharps has a little bit more value together, but at the same time, what if Khalil Herbert keeps the job all year? Gibbs is a league winner. Let's let the chat decide that one. Which side do you want, the Walker side or the Gibbs side? There really is no good answer here because you're getting rid of somebody that I absolutely think could be a league winner. Let's go over to, let's see. The next up was Ant Carter. Did you talk?
No, I'm still here. Smitty.
Okay, Ant Carter, you're up. I'm sorry. You're live.
So I watched your defensive show the other day, and I was thinking about doing the same thing. Somebody dropped the Bills defense, and I have the Cowboys defense, and I got a pretty stacked team, of course, to watch the show. And I will probably end up having to drop Nico Collins and either pick up the Bills defense or pick up A-Chain.
Look, I don't know that the Bills qualify for my strategy. My strategy was very specific. I'm not saying the Bills aren't potentially top 3 or 4. I'm not saying that, but it was specific to those 3 defenses. Maybe you throw in a Bills defense if you're doing that. But doing 2 of them isn't quite the same as that 3 defensive rotation video. So A-Chain for me. And I don't just implement that no matter what. I do it when it feels right. And A-Chain, Roshan feel like league winners to me to stash on the bench. So if I'm you, I don't know that I go the backup double tight end route when you've got a guy like A-Chain staring you in the face. Watson out, start Hollywood, Nico, or Herbert. I go Khalil Herbert. Hollywood's also banged up, bro. So AB, go Khalil Herbert. That's a very nice play. All right, hey, what else you got, Ant Carter? Appreciate you being patient and waiting.
I think that was pretty much it. Like I said, Nico Collins will probably be the one that I drop, and I can read you my running backs real quick. Like I said, it's pretty stacked. I got ETN, Walker, Javonte, Kamara. I ended up getting Taylor in like the 4th round before we found out he was going to be on the pup. And I got Jalen Warren also, and I also have the handcuffs Charbonnet to Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, go get A-Chain, bro. Appreciate you. Later, Carter.
All right, peace.
All right, Joel, then Chris from New York. Joel, you're up. You're live.
Hey, Smitty, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Dude, you had me dying over here, man. Listening to I've got shit on mute.
You know, here, look.
I'm glad my mute button was working because I was laughing so
This
hard.
is what
You had me checking it a couple times. I thought maybe I wasn't.
This is what happens when you have about
But,
12 people on the phone line at the same time. Ready? And I
Yeah,
understand.
I
I understand. I'm not mad at anybody. I don't want whoever was doing that to get upset. But it's like, here it is. Ready? This is what it's like. Here's Joe. Okay, Joe, I'm going to put you on hold. Can you please mute? Just shrugs it off like, I don't need to mute. I'll be all right. I'll be quiet.
I'll be a little mouse.
I'll be quiet. Ah! All right, go ahead, bro.
So you got time for like a quick team breakdown?
Real quick, yeah.
All right, so I got Josh Allen here at quarterback and Derek Carr as my two quarterbacks. Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker, James Conner, and Jonathan Taylor. I stole him with like one of the last picks in the draft.
I like
Nobody
that.
wanted to take him.
I like that.
So,
Jeez.
He's my fourth running back.
He's
Got
great like
CeeDee
this.
Lamb, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, and Brandon Ayuk as my wide receivers. Mark Andrews and Jake Ferguson at tight end, and kicker and defense. I got Evan McPherson, Greg Joseph, and New Orleans and Kansas City defense. But Christian Watson's obviously he's rolled out for week 1.
Yep.
And I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of tossing up the idea. I got to start 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex spot. And I don't know if I want to start James Conner in the flex or Brandon Ayuk, because I'm thinking about going CeeDee Lamb and Chris Godwin in the wide receiver spot, and Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker in the RB spot. So that kind of leaves me with like James Conner and Brandon Ayuk, and I'm like praying that Mark Andrews plays.
I'd probably go Ayuk, I suppose. I don't look. James Conner, he survives off touchdowns, man. How are the Cardinals gonna get near the end zone? I don't know. I understand.
See, that's kind of what I'm saying, man. Like,
I know they could
Cardinals
lean
are
on
in
him.
tank mode. I love James Conner as a player, but the situation and just like the team morale and the vibes in Arizona, I'm just not.
I go.
feeling it.
If it's PPR, I go Ayuk. But it's not like the greatest situation because the matchup's tough. But I probably go Ayuk. I mean, the Steelers got to contend with Debo and if Kittle plays, Christian McCaffrey. So Ayuk could catch a lot of balls, I suppose, even if it's like not a 100-yard game or anything. But I'd probably go Ayuk. I'd probably roll with Ayuk.
Now, I've heard you talk a little bit about Debo recently. Have you kind of risen on Debo a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, look, have you seen the Moon Man?
The Moon Man.
I haven't seen it recently, obviously. Then, yeah.
Debo.
Space Moon says.
I mean, at the cost of entry, at the trade value, at the entry of trade value, he's a phenomenal 4th round valued player right now in a trade. You go get him you trade Andrews straight up for Debo.
See, I had him on like my team last year, and I think that was what kind of leaned me away from him this year because he had that big season. And last year, dude, it was like my first year I took over the fantasy football team for my dad. He kind of passed it down to me. So I'm in with like a couple older guys, that he's been in the league with for years now. And, dude, I took last place last year. I won 1 game last year out of all the games
Let's fix that.
So
let's fix that.
A little bit better this year.
All right. Hey, this is Chris from New York, right? Or is this Joel?
Yeah, what's up, Smitty?
No, hold on. Who was I talking to? I'm sorry, I mixed it up. Was that Joel?
You're talking to me. That's Joel.
Oh, okay, Joel. All right, Joel. I got to jump to the next caller. Appreciate you, man. Calling again. Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, for sure. No
All
problem.
right.
Nice talking to you, Smitty.
Yeah, Chris, you're live. Go. We got to keep
Can
a little.
you hear me?
Yeah, we got to keep it a little faster. We can hear you loud and clear, Chris.
Oh, well, I was on mute. I want to make sure my mute went off. So this is the deal. I got Lamar Jackson as my starter.
Okay.
Bijan is my number 1, Aaron Rodgers, and in the flex, I played Montgomery this week. My wide receivers are Hill, Amon St. Brown, and Calvin Ridley. And I'm in trouble at tight end with Kittle and Everett. So I was wondering, what do you think I should do about Kittle there? I mean, I have like Bateman, Cooks, and Davis on the bench, and I have like Connors, Elliott, and Jerome Ford on the bench.
Jerome Ford. I mean, cut Jerome Ford and pick up Juwan Johnson or somebody. You know, Juwan Johnson's good, but Everett's not.
We draft 20 players, 12 teams, 20 players, so everybody's pretty much.
Well, Everett ain't bad. Everett ain't bad. As long as he plays, Everett's fine. Everett's good. He'll be good.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to do a quick rant here and stuff. Why do people, over the years, should know that more and more teams are going to running back by committee? So why don't people think that, like, Gibbs and Montgomery, why can't they both eat and be good? Why can't, like, Bijan Robinson and, what's his name? I can't think of it right off the name. Why can't they both eat and be good? What is your reason why people are thinking that way?
Panic Peters. Everybody's a Peter. Panic Peter. They just get real upset.
I mean, I could see Montgomery and Gibbs both being top 15 running backs.
I mean, they're both going to eat. I mean, as I've said, the entire offseason.
I mean, I'll play Montgomery as my flex every week if I had to.
As I said, the entire offseason, they have nothing to do with each other in one sense. Like Montgomery's
you don't pay Montgomery all that money just to sit him on the bench. I mean,
Montgomery's
in my opinion, Montgomery is going to touch the ball, I'd say 12 to 17 times a game and maybe get a reception. Where I think Gibbs will not touch the ball as much. He'll probably touch the ball maybe 12 times a game, but he'll get 6 receptions a game. Yeah. So it's going to be more like a 50-50 split there.
All right, Chris. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. Nice rant.
Yep.
All right, later. Also, people need to understand something, too, is like I'm not trying to get crazy here and say that Monty's going to 100% get hurt, but Monty is going to be the guy that gets abused, and there's a strong likelihood at some point during the year the backfield is going to be Gibbs's in a way. Like I'm just saying, it's something to like look for. Monty has been run into the ground by Chicago, and I'm not saying he doesn't have enough gas left in the tank to go this year and maybe even another year. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to be hilarious when people are shocked that there's even more work than Monty can handle, or I'm sorry, Gibbs can handle if something like that happens. And we don't want him going into, that's the funny part, is even if Monty went down, knock on wood, we don't want Gibbs just going straight into the full-time workload. They're doing so much running, he wouldn't hold up. We don't want that. All right, I'm going to go over to Alex Cruz. You're live. If everybody else would please stay muted so we don't hear the mouth breathing, the screaming and yelling in the background. And then we're going to have to quickly turn to 30-second phone calls after that. I apologize, but there's too many people on the line, and I can't hear everybody's team on the phone line. It's too long, and no offense to anybody that's on the phone line, but nobody cares about the entire team that you have because everybody's got a big, long list and things that they need help with. So can't really go over full team breakdowns on the phone line. It just takes way too long, and no one's really all that interested in it, to be frank. And I know it's hard to hear, but that's just the way it is. Alex, what can I do for you?
Hey, I got a trade offer for me, offer me Herbert and Schultz for my Lawrence and Ingram. I just want to see also like what the chat thinks as well and what you think. And is it close? I kind of like Herbert more. I have Eckler, so it'd be a stack. What do you think?
I think that, I'd love to know what the chat thinks. Herbert and Dalton Schultz and Herbert for T-Law and Ingram. I have T-Law as ranked higher than Herbert by one draft slot or one quarterback slot, and everybody was in an uproar when I released that video, and that's fine. I mean, it is what it is, but that's just how I feel. I think T-Law is going to ball this year, and so you give me the upgrade at tight end, I'm even happier. I think you're at least washing the T-Law Herbert swap, and you're getting Ingram over Dalton. I liked Dalton a lot last year. He was a moon man. We liked him a lot. But Dalton just, I don't know what is in store for him. So give me T-Law and the upgraded tight end.
I have the Lawrence side.
Then I mean, then you know my answer.
Stay put?
Well, you want me to actually say it. You're just like me. You're double confirming Caleb. Like Miss Smitty she was laughing so hard the other day because what I said when I said, "Hey, is this roast beef good?" Check the date. Well, the date says next month it goes bad. Okay. And then I still ask her, so is it good? I just need to hear her say it. I just need her to okay that I can eat, and so that's what Alex is doing here. I basically just told Alex how much I love the T-Law Ingram side, and now he wants to know my answer.
Just want it on record.
Okay, I like T-Law side. Give me the T-Law side. Law Dog. I appreciate you, Alex. The first ever YouTube exclusive member is Alex Cruz. Let's give him a standing ovation. Alex Cruz. All right, Alex, appreciate you, man. I'm going to cycle through the phone line here. All right, later, Alex. I'll talk to you later. Okay, 30-second phone calls only after I get through these super chats real quickly. Let me get these off the screen. Miles, QB Richardson, Gibbs, Sanders, wide receiver Hill, and St. Brown, A-Chain. What am I doing here? Richardson, Gibbs. What's the question here? I don't know if you're just giving me your team. It's a good team. Richardson, Gibbs, Sanders, Hill, St. Brown, Jawan Johnson, Flex, Ayuk. Oh, I think the flex you're asking, do you flex Lockett or A-Chain or Dell? I'd probably go Lockett in this one, if that's the question. Appreciate your super chat. This one right here, Brees Hall, JSN, Tank Dell at flex. I think, JSN's probably the safest, but you could be kicking yourself on that one because, I mean, there's some good options there. Like Tank Dell could surprise, but JSN. Ah! Who's unmuted? We hear so much background noise. Who is that? Who is that? Hello? Who's unmuted? Is that Terrell?
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
All right, hang tight. I'm still coming for it. Terrell, you'll be next, but I'm just trying to figure out who's not muted because we hear a whole bunch of background noise. All right, sorry.
It's fucking thunder. It's fucking thundering over here.
All right, hey, family show, bro. Family show. Sorry, bud. Flex spot. I need someone to play either wide receiver or tight end. I'll get to you in 1 second, Terrell. Hang tight. Deep waiver wire, 6-team league. I have been drinking, bud. What's your pick at tight end and wide receiver? Need someone to play at either wide receiver or tight end. Well, you've been doing a little boozing, and you didn't include the question again. So let me go find it. Hold on 1 second. 411. He thinks I can remember everything. Let's see here. No problem, pal. Okay, so you still didn't give me a list though. A wide receiver, tight end. Like I don't know who's available. I would say like go looking at if you need a wide receiver, Tank Dell. I think he's a great pickup and play right now. If he's not available, I mean, you got to give me a list of who's there because that's really hard to like project who would be available. But Tank Dell is a really good play this week. Dobbs is a really good play. Jawan Johnson at tight end is a really good play. But if you could give me a list 411, I could definitely help you a little bit better than just trying to guess on that. Michael with the super chat, lost Watson and Kupp, flex Hall or Van Jefferson. I'm taking Hall over Van Jefferson, definitely. $13.99 Holler. Thank you for the
to the moon
super chat. $10 Hollers and above get a moonshot. 10-man PPR QB. Love Anthony Richardson. Running backs are Josh Jacobs, Gibbs, Monty, Kamara. Wide receivers are Chase, Ayuk, Godwin, DJ Moore, Gabe Davis, Kyle Pitts, Luke Musgrave. I just ride with my team with the QB rotation. Probably because, I mean, you got to wait on this one. Josh Jacobs for a potential QB and wide receiver would be nice. Like, let's say you could get Debo and Fields or somebody using Richardson and Josh Jacobs. Like, I guess I would go to like the Debo owner. I would go to the Ridley owner. I'd go to those owners and see if you can get them to think that Josh Jacobs is worth more than their second player, like the Debo swap. Maybe Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs for Kenneth Walker, and that guy's got Fields, and you can give him Anthony Richardson. Those are opportunities. Other than that, you kind of let it play out. Maybe Richardson goes out there and balls out, and you're able to do something with that. Zeke Elliott, JSN, or Brees Hall in the flex. I think JSN is the safest play out of those guys. Thank you for the super chat. Brees Hall is hard to sit, though, but I think JSN's probably just going to get just a tad bit more work, but I don't think I'd like kick myself later for getting that one wrong because we are being told Hall could be limited, and what we just saw with Gibbs might happen with Hall. Gibbs, Madison, Walker, Charbonnet, Cook. I need wide receiver depth. Any suggestions? I like Madison right now for Debo. You might have to give up a little more. James Cook and Madison together could get you a potential bigger name wide receiver. I would shoot for Ridley, but I don't know. I don't know if that will work out. You could obviously trade for Christian Watson right now on the cheap using maybe you could probably get Christian Watson for James Cook right now. Some people might not do that. People are freaking out about Christian Watson. It's a little bit of a risky play, I suppose. You could always go after Debo is my favorite player to target at wide receiver right now because I think he's really the only wide receiver one that's sitting out there and totally undervalued. And that was my last super chat, I think, to get caught up. Thank you, Caesar. Appreciate you. If I missed anybody's super chat, let me know, and I will go find it. I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but we have to go to the 30-second phone call format because we just have too many people on the line, and it is already 7 o'clock my time. What is that? 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and we might go live later tonight. So we are entering 30-second phone call mode. Please be as fast as you can to get your question in. Otherwise, you're going to get hung up on. We're going to head over to Superfish. What can I do for you, Superfish? You have 30 seconds. Go.
All right. Hi, Smitty. I put my Christian Watson in my IR spot. So I go to look on the waiver wire, and I see JSN. So I picked up JSN. He looks like the next Wes Welker or Julian Edelman. He looks really good.
Do it live. I like that.
But I'm going to have to drop somebody come Tuesday. And looking at the bottom of my roster, my choices are Sky Moore, DeAndre Swift, or DeAndre Swift, or James or McKinnon. So who would I drop?
Probably Sky Moore right now. I hate to say that. I was so high on him, but he just didn't. If I had to drop, I still think McKinnon's got potential because if Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets banged up, I mean, he's still in a position to be like. I feel like the wide receiver room's more cloudy right now, and Rashee Rice looks so good.
Well, I also have Pacheco.
Yeah, I probably drop Sky Moore in that situation, but monitor him
too. But
yeah, monitor him. It was unfortunate, and I don't know. I would just probably drop Sky Moore for right now. I think McKinnon still has a lot of upside. And the fact that McKinnon was the number one fantasy football running back last year on 2 different weeks, 2 different weeks, there's so much appeal. You know, like I know people are going to run from him. That's okay. He pulled in like 9 receiving touchdowns last year. So I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to give up on McKinnon. All right. Hey, Superfish, I appreciate you. I should have hung up on you already, but I didn't want to do that to you. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. Next.
Take care.
Yeah. Next caller, Spiffy. You got 30 seconds. And don't think I'm not hanging up on you, Spiffy. Go.
All right, Smitty. I got a verbal trade I got in today. This
Verbal
is for the
trade.
team that I drafted with Anthony Richardson and Kincaid that I punted all of them, but I got all the other studs. I got offered Mike Williams and Michael Pittman and Sky Moore for Deontay. And then when they added Swift, he gave me Sky Moore and Mike Williams for Swift and Deontay.
Swift and Deontay go to you. You're giving up what?
No. Swift and Deontay go to the other team, and I get Mike Williams and Sky Moore. Mike Williams and Michael Pittman.
You've just been
No, Spiffy. They're trying to take advantage of you again, sir.
What if they did mention they mentioned the other trade? I would only give up Deontay, and I would just have to give up. They will have to give up Pittman and Sky Moore.
No. But Spiffy. I'm not saying don't trade Deontay, but they're trying to take advantage of you. So no. Spiffy, stop doing these Mickey Mouse moves, okay? Appreciate you, Spiffy. That's a negative on both those. Terrell, you're live, bro.
Hey, what's up, City? I got a question for tight end standard league. Which one of these guys scores a touchdown? Dawson Kincaid, Taysom Hill, Luke Musgrave, Jake Ferguson.
I probably go Jake Ferguson's the safe play. Musgrave's the high risk, high reward play. But those are your two options. You got to kind of pick your poison. What do you want? You want high risk, high reward. Musgrave with Watson being out could be heavily targeted, but he's also entering his first game. But Laporta did do well his first game, so it's not crazy. Musgrave's a specimen. Ferguson's got a lot of hype, but I don't know that I trust all that yet. I almost want to wait and see on Ferguson. But that's me.
I also have Conklin. I could get Conklin too.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Luke Musgrave, to be honest with you. All right, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, who is this that I'm talking to?
Terrell.
Terrell. Okay, Terrell. I just want to make sure I hang up on the right person. Terrell, I appreciate you, bro. Calling again, okay?
Yep.
All right, negative Ethan, you got 30 seconds. Go.
Smitty, thanks for motivating me to get Gibbs. I got him in the 4th round in my 2 QB league, and I just think he looked electric. I mean, the guy did a fake spin move. I've never seen that before. He's doing like Akeem Olajuwon shimmies out there.
A fake
He's doing spin moves and trucking people. I mean, so if the points will come, I just want to see more slot work.
All right.
That was it.
Good take. Later, Ethan. Negative Ethan. Being positive. Being positive. Scuba Steve, you got 30 seconds. Close it out.
Smitty, Keandre Moe is gonna looks like he's gonna be ruled out. I have Kincaid. I want to know if Mark Andrews is out, if I should pick up Isaiah Likely and start him.
It depends on the other options, man. Likely's pretty decent in that scenario, but this is one of those things where you think you can predict what's going to happen, and then sure enough, we don't see somebody that comes in. Like, look at McKinnon, Pacheco, and Sky Moore. With Kelsey out, it looked like gold. And it didn't. So, I mean, Likely could look really good, but it depends. Is Juwan Johnson there? Is Ferguson there? Is it really, like, tough sledding? If so, then I feel like Likely's not bad if he does sit, sure. But
I'll tell you what, Smitty, because I know we're closing out. If you go live later, what I'll do is I'll call back in and I'll tell you the
sounds good.
I'll tell you the top 4 guys that
are
available for tight end.
All right, see you, Scubas. Appreciate you.
Later.
Red, you got 30 seconds. Red, go.
Thanks, man. It's calling real quick for you, brother. I'm trying to get Ridley. Had a pretty rough week when it comes to Watson and Kelsey. Should I trade him Geno for Ridley?
In a super flex?
Regular flex.
One
flex league.
one QB, you mean? Would I trade Geno Smith for Calvin Ridley in a 1 QB?
Yeah.
If you like winning, I would. But who in the hell is gonna give you Calvin Ridley? Like, let's walk this. Let's walk through this for a second.
I'm trying to give him Geno and trade Pittman or Watson.
Okay, well, first of all, Pittman and Watson are very different. Christian Watson is a 4th rounder.
Pittman or Watson.
Okay, but second of all, you didn't say that in the beginning. You just said Geno Smith for. So, the whole story needs to be, told for me to give you good advice. But Christian Watson and Pittman, that's like saying a $1 bill and a $20 bill. Like, I got to give him a $20 or a $1 bill with it. Like, it's a big difference. Christian Watson injured right now is not like a dismantled 4th round player. Everybody wants to take Christian Watson's 4th round value and put him now in round 7 with Michael Pittman, or round 6 or wherever Michael Pittman's going. They're far away from each other. So I would trade Michael Pittman and Geno Smith for Calvin Ridley and laugh all the way to the bank. Would I trade Christian Watson and Geno Smith for Calvin Ridley? I still would. But there's a big difference there. Big difference. But it's a 1 QB league?
That,
absolutely. But I don't know if you're going to get that done. You're basically going to someone. I imagine this is just your idea, right? Someone isn't coming to you, or you guys actually like negotiating down to a trade?
No, I'm going to him. I'm going
Okay,
to him
yeah,
with the deal.
he's going to look at you
I'm
and
just trying
say,
to get him something.
he's going to look at you and say, where did I take Calvin Ridley? Where did I take Calvin Ridley, Red? And you're going to say in the 3rd round. And he's going to say, where did you take Geno? And you're going to say, in the 12th round. And he's going to go, so what are we talking about here? Like, come on, Red. All right.
Try, man.
Try, Red. Try.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, later, Red. Appreciate you. Sometimes, man. Sometimes I just wonder. You know, you could end a friendship on an offer like that. Hey, I'll give you a Geno for Ridley. And that's what Red started out with. He didn't say anything about Pittman. He didn't say anything about Christian Watson. He just said, would you trade a ham sandwich for $100 bill? Old ham, just moldy ham sandwich for $100 bill. That's what Red started off with. Niner Rick, you got 30 seconds.
Yo, you to put my mind at ease a little bit. I was a 6th pick overall, 12-team league, and I got Gibbs in the 3rd. I already went Hill and A.J. Brown first 2 picks, so I felt like I had to take a running back there. I almost took Ridley or Debo over him, but now I kind of feel like I should have went RB0 and then picked up 2 running backs whenever I could have. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, people are freaking out about Gibbs. He's going to be fine. He looked absolutely fantastic. He just needs volume. The volume's going to come. They warned us. They literally told us.
I need you to give me that roast beef reassurance right now, Smitty.
Roast beef reassurance? What does that mean?
The one you just said about how Miss Smitty and you gave her, she needed.
Yeah.
Still good. I need that, man.
Okay, here we go. Gibbs will be fine. He'll be fine. Okay, he'll be good. Tuck him away, nice and snug. Already. Put him to bed. Not in a bad way. Like tuck him in, keep him safe, protect him at all times. All right, later. Appreciate you.
All right, talk to you tonight. Later.
Man, Mars Man Rock Out. What can I do for you, Mars Man Rock Out? I'm actually Mars Man. I got to stick. You do break free. Actually, you get no timer because you're a Mars Man. You need to have some advantage over everybody. Go ahead, Mars Man Rock Out. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I heard you talking about JSN, but you would still have Javonte over JSN, right?
No, because probably, yeah. But like, do I waver a little bit? I do waver a little bit. And I may have even, look, I'll be honest, I kind of forget what I said. I've been asked that question like 5 times. And I think my answer was that I'm hovering over the button and I don't really know. Like, I would be tempted to go JSN. I would. But Javante's a fun play. Do you need high risk, high reward? Go Javonte. You need a little bit safer, but still high risk because this is a guy that they drafted to be their slot wide receiver, right? And they don't run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, so this is going to be a new, venture for them, and I think they will. But I would say JSN's a tiny bit safer, but Sean Payton said Javante's getting a big workload. He could be lying.
That was in my mind. I'm like, should we believe him? Or...
Thank you, Superfish.
To the moon.
All right, anything else? Rock out. I'd say lean Javante, but let's decide later, okay?
Yeah, I think that's it for right now.
All right, rock out. Appreciate you. To the moon, pal. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Marsman, rock out. This one from XDS. Start DJ Moore, London, Dotson, JSN, or Gibbs in a 10-team PPR. I have Fields, and separately start Godwin, Javonte, or Debo in a 10-team. Are these all your options? What kind of grandma options are we talking about? So Godwin, Javonte, or Debo. I'm probably going Debo. Barely. I mean, Javonte and Debo are so close for me. Probably going Debo. Very, very tough. Very, very tough. TD premium. I mean, you're talking about a guy that scores a lot of touchdowns on the ground or receiving, so there's touchdown opportunity for Debo. As far as DJ Moore, London, Dotson, JSN, I'd probably go DJ Moore, but it's between DJ Moore and Dotson, but very, very close. Like, you're going to get these wrong. You need to do some 2-for-1 trades coming out of week 1. I probably would wait, let those guys pop off, but you're going to get that wrong every week. I'm going to get it wrong for you every week when you ask me. I'll do my best, but good God, those are tough calls. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Superfish, for super chatting and for calling in. Thank you all for being here. If I missed anybody's super chat, please let me know. We got 515 people in here. Just so you all know, we're live 24 straight hours on Sunday. Boy,
do I have exciting news
for you. Opening weekend Sunday. Week 1, opening day, Sunday morning. I'm going live on a Keep Smitty Live for 24-hour live stream. That's right. I'll be watching the game. I don't need to play the whole thing, but you know this Sunday, 24 hours straight live. So get ready for that. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll be back tonight when we're going to do potentially some drafting. You know, for week 1, there's some week 1 contests where we can do a little draft, little drafty poo, and you know, it's never too early never too late to do a little draft. And on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, let me drop that link right now. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Here's the link right now. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. $100 on your first deposit. And you know what? All you got to do is go on over to Underdog. Let me see if I can put this on screen right here and show you all. I got 502 people in here. Don't leave yet. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. But don't leave yet because we're actually not done yet. We're not done yet. So if we go to Underdog, here's the Underdog app right now. Let me put this above everything so you guys can see it. I'm going to show you what you do. You go to the Underdog app, and in the lobby, if you click on draft, okay, you click on draft, you scroll on over to the $5 mini royale. And then if you look at that, it's $15K. Here are the matchups. It's $5 per entry. And it looks like there are 6 draft slots. If you hit enter, like I just did, you hit enter, and there's one more to start. You could draft live with me right now if you click it. Click the link right now. I just dropped it. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I just pinned it in the live chat. Oops. Did Smitty, with 498 people still in the live stream, join a live draft that begins right now? He certainly did. And so we're going to draft this real quick. I'm going to show you how to do it live. I got the 2 slot. Okay. This is the slate of games on Sunday. And this is how the board looks. It's absolutely fantastic and fun. There's 6 people in each little draft. The prizes are unbelievably cool. $15K to first place. I got the number 2 pick. Draft starts in 31 seconds. Little oopsie poo. This channel is so unique and so awesome. Thank you, Shamrock. Appreciate that. Shamrock. I appreciate Shamrocks. Very, very nice comment there. 10 seconds, the draft begins. Let's see if we can rock someone's world real quick and draft a killer team, and then I'm out of here. But we got 493 people in here. Please put your hit your thumb up button. Cam Akers running back 1. That's interesting. That's interesting, Addy. That's a bold take. Okay, JJ. Let's go with Jamar Chase and do it live. Jamar Chase. Fire up Jamar Chase. Week 1 against the Browns. Okay, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. The thing I love about drafting for week 1 best ball is that you don't have to wait long. The drafts go really quickly. You're drafting only a starting lineup, and it's like the turn picks coming up already. It's so fun. It's absolutely a blast. Link has been dropped in the live chat. Again, Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. So do that live. Do it live. I'm almost up again. $5 hauler. My dad will pay my $100 league fee if you can say something to convince him to do so. Smitty, please help. Okay. Your dad will pay for your league fee. I would say, look, Papa Hero. You know, we all have a chance in our life to become a hero for our son. And your son is asking for your help. He's asking you to wear a cape right now. And if you want, you can put a cape on and become Papa Hero and pay this man's $100 league fee. And I'm on the clock right now, and I'm going to draft Calvin Ridley. Let's do it live. Double wide receiver move that we're deploying right there. That's called a double decker if I've ever seen one. Even more so, if your father doesn't pay your $100 entry fee, I want you to put a double decker in his toilet. Okay, so your papa might want to do so just to keep things orderly in Casa de Hero. Okay, how's that? How's that? Papa going to pay now? I'm on the clock. Let's go. You know what? Week 1, let's just go Henry. It's week 1. So we've got Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley, and Henry. I will not pay your league fee if you don't do your homework. All right, there we go. ETN, Derrick Henry, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Adams. Let's see what we get here. I thought you've played FF for years. What kind of question is that, says Cowboys. I don't know what that's for. Hit that like button. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, so we're swinging back around. Here's the turn. The draft is almost over. If you guys want to do one of these drafts, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. How do you draft after the season starts? You're drafting per week, so this is a weekly only draft. This is for the Sunday slate games only, Rush. So basically on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, click that link. I just dropped it in the live chat. Again, they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. This is for the Sunday slate of games, and it's only for Sunday. So we'll do this in week 2. We'll do this in week 3. We're literally drafting all season long. We're drafting teams. We're not just picking high or lows. We're doing drafting. So on the clock here, I absolutely love Fields, but I'm probably going to roll with Joseph. Oh, hold on. It's very important to look at the board, because if this guy had a quarterback, he can't draft another quarterback. So he doesn't have a quarterback. I have a feeling he'll take Joe Burrow, or I just fear that. So I'm going to go Joe Burrow here. I've got Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley, Derrick Henry, Joe Burrow, and hopefully when he flips around here, I can take. See, he took a quarterback, so that was good on my part. But he did cuff him to JJ Cousins, so it's possible he wouldn't have. DeAndre Hopkins. I'm probably going to go, man, this is tough for me. I've got Devontae Smith, but I could grab T. Higgins and cuff. I don't necessarily feel like I need to cuff everything. I'm going to go Devontae Smith. It's just the best pick. So I went Chase, Calvin Ridley, Derrick Henry, Joe Burrow. I did have a cuffing going on, but I don't know that I need to take Higgins. I don't think that's always the wisest move. Everybody thinks, oh, you cuffed the entire wide receiver room for the Bengals. Why? Why? If I think Devontae Smith outscores T. Higgins in week 1, why would I cuff? You don't have to cuff on week 1. Cuffing's fun, and if Burrow does great, Chase will probably do great, but I don't need to cuff both wide receivers. Hero says, thanks, Smitty. It worked. Ready to dominate. Okay, appreciate you, Hero. Tell Papa he made a smart move. Them upper deckers are tough to clean out. Zach, I have been offered Chase. Would you give up Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. My wide receiver 2 is Devontae Smith. Moore is in my flex. I don't know that I do that. I like DJ Moore and Garrett Wilson a ton, bro. I think that's a lot to give up. I don't know if everybody agrees with me. Jamar Chase is obviously a baller, but so is Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson could be a top 3 wide receiver in the National Football League this year. And I really, really like. I got Grills dropping a $2 hauler. Smitty, start hauler, Javonte, or Khalil Herbert. Khalil's safest. Javante's higher risk, higher reward. So you got to pick your poison there. I wish it was easy and I could just tell you cement it in, but the God's honest truth is it's a risk reward proposition. Gerald Everett, Jawan Johnson, Pat Fryermuth, Higbee. Man, this is a tough one. What do I do here? I'll just go high upside with Kyle Pitts, I guess. I don't know. So my team so far is Chase, Calvin Ridley. They projected me for 82 points. I'm right up there. They didn't hit me with the highest projection, but I've got Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Smith, and Kyle Pitts. Phenomenal team, in my opinion. You can do this too. All you got to do is click on the link that's pinned in the live chat, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So if you do $10, they'll give you $10. You do $100, they'll give you $100 on your first deposit. And so you can go, this is a $5 contest. They'll have them in week 1, they'll have them in week 2, they'll have them in week 3. You're drafting a fantasy team for each individual week, and it's usually a slate of games. So there's like a Thursday and Monday night, sometimes slate where it's only those 2 games. There's usually this slate of games for Sunday is open until Sunday morning, right, or Saturday evening, so you can draft all the way up, and you can see the green indicator. It's not even 20; it's about 20% full right now. So you can draft right now, go do it, and then the pick'ems are also that amazing thing right here. If you not every state can use the Sanders boost, but what the Sanders boost does is if he gets over 2.5 TDs, and I think he will, Deion Sanders. Son, if he gets over 2.5 TDs and you pick the higher, that'll give your 5 player high low contest. It'll give it a 25 times multiplier instead of a 20 times multiplier. So that boost is there. You'll also see a Saquon Barkley 1 yard is all he needs to get. You just hit the higher. It's a freebie essentially, and you couple that with 3 or 4 other picks, and then you're off to the races. But my favorite one so far, just looking at this on Underdog Fantasy, if you want to do it, again, promo code Smitty, or use that link. The link will insert promo code Smitty for you. If I take a look at this and I find some of the best higher lows here, I would say, just scrolling through here, I would say that the number one favorite so far popping off the screen here would be, what is Flowers at? What's Zay Flowers projected at? Is he even on here? I don't think they have Zay Flowers on here. That's weird that they don't have him on here. Maybe he's down lower. I'm not going near that Pittsburgh game. I love this right here. 1.5 passing touchdowns for T-Law. That's money right there. T-Law, 1.5 higher, 1.5 passing touchdowns. ETN, 56 rushing yards. I'm going higher on that. Calvin Ridley, 63.5 passing yards. That's a very, very intriguing contest right there. Evan Ingram, 39 yards. That feels pretty money too. You know, do I bank on this Jacksonville Jaguar game and just say give me the over on 39.5 yards, or do I say give me in 0.5 PPR? Do I say give me 7.65 fantasy points for Ingram? Maybe I'll do that. I'll go higher on the fantasy points there, and then I just need to add one more, and I'll have 5, which will make it a 20 times multiplier. And by looking at some of these higher lows, I would say Bijan Robinson rushing touchdown, or do we say 12.5 fantasy points, or do we say 69.5 rushing yards? He's going to get over 69.5 rushing yards, so I'm hitting the higher on that. There's my 5. I'll show you my 5 right here. Let me see if I can lower that. There we go. So it's Ridley, higher than 63.5 yards. It's ETN, higher than 56.5 rushing yards. It's Evan Ingram, higher than 7.65 fantasy points. It's Trevor Lawrence, higher than 1.5 TDs. And Bijan Robinson, higher than 69.5 yards. And when you bring up this thing right here, let me see if I can bring it up. Hold on. You enter in, let's say if you were to do $10, it would pay you, as you can see, the standard is checked with the orange check mark. It's 20 time multiplier, so it says 5 correct pays $200. You can do the insured one below, which pays less. If you get 5 correct on the insured, it pays you $100. If you get 4 correct, it pays you $25. I'm going to let this ride. $10 will get me $200. And so I'm going to go ahead and submit this one right here. Lock picks must be resolved before. What are we doing here? Higher, higher. Remove Ingram to unlock pick. Why can't Ingram be in this? Okay, so I got to go find another one. Let me go find another one real quick. Ingram was a nice play. Oh, because I think you can only have so many from one team, I think, is why that's that way. Let's go get Dotson. Dotson's got a great line. Dotson over 42.5 yards. We'll go higher on that. Now we can do $10. So $10 on this one gets us $200. Let's go ahead and submit that bad boy. Confirm. Boom. Your $200 submission has been submitted. Ridley, ETN, Dotson, Trevor Lawrence, Bijan Robinson, all hires. Smash. Home run. Let's go. Let's go. That's my advice right now. We'll do a show on this. Don't you worry. And appreciate you watching me draft. and all of that. Super chats. See, if you left early, you missed out on that. You missed out. People thought I was leaving. Lloyd, Love, Jaden Reed available in my league. Love and Jaden Reed available in my league. Drop any of these guys for them. McKinnon, Sky Moore. I would probably drop Sky Moore. I would not drop Roshan. I would not drop Dell. I honestly wouldn't drop McKinnon. I don't love Odell that much. I would probably drop Sky Moore for Reed. And if you need a quarterback, Odell for Love is okay. But Odell's okay to hold for a week too and just, see what he does. But if you need a quarterback badly, I would definitely not be too crazy, feel too crazy about dropping him. Upside, Dobbs, Hall, or A-Chain. Dobbs. You probably go Dobbs. Jawan or Okonkwo. Jawan safer. Okonkwo is higher risk, higher reward. That's a tough one. Thanks again, Shamrock, for the good comment. Thank you, Rush. Hopefully you understand the best ball, the weekly best ball. And I will see you all later. Don't forget, Underdog Fantasy, link is pinned in the live chat. We'll be drafting tonight, doing exactly what I showed you, the week 1 best ball drafts tonight. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, link is pinned in the live chat. I will see you all tonight. Appreciate you. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, and live whenever news breaks. See you later. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.
A top 5 wide receiver hides among the people. His cost of entry is near illegal. Few see him coming. Many stay away. His name is Chris Olave.